Oh my God. He put anniversary. Did you realize? Do our listeners know?
Very merry 1 year anniversary.
Do you know that there's no such thing as a 1 year anniversary?
Yeah,
It has to be 2 years.
Oh, really? Is that the real? Now that I did not know.
Oh, that's right. Stay with me. I'll teach you English.
There you go. I did not know.
Good morning, Karen and Ben. Of course he is. He's always ready.
He is so good. So good.
Welcome back, Lizzie.
Thank you.
Did your family get their visitation and funeral for your
The
father-in-law?
funeral was rough, and thank you for coming to the visitation. The funeral was rough. Because everybody was pretty good at the visitation, and it was rough because my son did the eulogy, and that was his grandfather, and my daughter spoke, and my husband spoke. So there were some moments that were a little rough.
Oh, I can imagine. Hey, Joe, I met Lizzie's son. Dude's a star, man. He is a star. Hal.
Hal Sparks.
He's like this old man in a young body.
100%. 100%.
Is he the politician? I'm sorry.
No, he's not. My son-in-law is the state
that's
rep.
right. That's
My
right.
son, he's actually an IT person, but he also went to culinary school. And he's a kid that, well, he's not a kid. He's 32 now. But when he went to culinary school, he was 20. And then he was 21 while it went on. He can literally pick up a thing of wine, smell it without ever tasting it, swirling it around, and then tell you where it's from, which brand, all of that.
Dude's a genius. He really is.
Very cool.
He'll be great.
So he's a sommelier. Is that what they call that?
Yes,
well, I
yes,
told
he
him,
is.
I'm like, you guys got to get him on that foodie,
The foodie show.
the foodie show that's coming, or down low. He will be fantastic.
Yeah, he won't come on the political show because he argues about that. And he's often right. He's like a libertarian. He's not a liberal, and he's not a conservative. My girls are conservatives, and my son-in-law is a conservative, but my son is a libertarian, and proudly so. He doesn't like any government at all.
Well, we've got to get going. I mean, the beginning of the show is kind of getting messed a little bit. I'd like to spend more time, but we had to start.
Yeah, well, I wanted to start
later.
The show now.
Joe, can we go ahead and start the show, big man? Hey guys, welcome in. Is anniversary spelled wrong?
I think it is.
Wait a minute, not behind me. It isn't.
No, but it's on like the thumbnail at the beginning.
No way.
I think it is.
Is there two N's?
I think it's just instead of the I, somebody has an E, A-N-N-E. Mm-hmm. On the thumbnail.
I am not responsible for any of this today.
No.
Can you check, Joe, and see what it is? I love
yeah,
it. I think it's freaking hilarious if it is that way.
Right. It really is.
Aaron, I love you, dude. Oh, that's spelled right.
Yeah, it looked right.
Okay, good.
But then again, as we educate everybody and we get educated by you, there's no such thing as a 1 year anniversary. Did everybody know that?
Yeah,
it's a 1 year celebration. An anniversary means it's happened. It's a 2 year.
That makes sense.
A 2 year. One of those little things that I did learn doing the news. There is no such thing. And you don't completely destroy anything. You either destroy it or you don't.
Correct.
There was like 10 of those that you do. Hey guys, welcome to the show. Cancel this, canceltheshow.com. I'm Vic Faust. I could use a shot of tequila this morning. Lizzie Sparks is here. Pro Joe in the house. We've got a full house. Eric Johnson will be rolling in shortly. Kelly Mano in the 9 o'clock hour. Patrick Willette joining us from the East Coast to talk about what has happened in Minneapolis, the takeover that's happened in Minneapolis. And if you don't think it's going on in other parts of the country, think again. We are going to celebrate our 1 year celebration anniversary at about 8:40. Just kind of taking a look back because it's all about you guys. You have helped put us in this spot. We continue to move forward. What a hell of a year it has been. I was looking back at the tape yesterday from our first show. And I was like, and there was a point, Lizzie, where I actually said, and I'm confessing right now, what a dumbass I was.
What a
Of course.
dumbass.
See, I
Yeah.
make a lot of mistakes, but if you make mistakes, just apologize.
Yeah.
And just move on. Be the best person that you can be in whatever it is in life. I actually said the quote, I'm living my best life.
You had no idea what was coming, did you?
What the F was I
I didn't even know it was coming.
Holy shit. So you want to start a business?
Podcasting. Yeah, that's it.
With not a ton of money.
Oh.
But we are so grateful for the advertisers, the sponsors. We'll talk about that. You, the people who come every day, the podcast viewers, the podcast listeners, those of you who have made donations to us, big and small, those of you who have bought merchandise, those of you who keep us posted with stories, those of you who give us ideas for interviews. It's all about you, and we'll talk a little bit about that coming up in the show. But we are grateful. I love this when we have a free-for-all Friday. By the way, Kelly Maddow, 9 o'clock hour, as she is moving through her single life now, the comedian, social media influencer, she's really like finding that men are disgusting, like more and more all the time.
You don't say.
Yeah. The pics that come to her, the ideas that come to her, the things that guys have caught, so to speak, in the dating world.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like,
And I don't think it's just her age either. I have my middle child is 23 and she's like, Mom, don't expect me to get married anytime soon because you have very high standards on who my spouses will be. And these 23-year-old guys out in this world are disgusting.
Joe, there's nothing like a 50-year-old guy and a dad bod. There you go, buddy.
I'm telling you, I'm just as disgusting as the rest of them. Of course, I'm not going to send pics.
Oh my God, I love this show.
Oh.
Hey, I'm just saying there's a chance. So you're saying there's a chance.
Absolutely. There's always a chance.
There's a big chance for you. Anyway, we've got that coming up on the show. Eric will be in. Kelly wants to give advice to those who are out there dating and also advice to those who are in marriages and relationships in regards to how to do the right thing. You want to keep a good marriage. You want to keep the things hot. She's got advice for you on that. Of course, she's the only person I've ever known that literally goes out with her ex still.
Yeah, that is
and
so
they go on
interesting.
functions together.
Yeah. I can kind of relate to that because I've been married for 35 years and dated him 6.5 years beforehand. That even if we did get a divorce, and we're not, but and we're not, just putting that out there. But if we did, it would be like, I'd still want to call him on the phone and ask him something because he would know our inside jokes and stuff. So I think that would be really hard because some people break up amicably and then you still want to talk to them.
Yes, we will talk about that too, because once you give your heart to somebody, I don't care how pissed you are, how angry, what has happened, it's difficult to walk away because those are feelings, or the relationship was a sham from the get-go and then it was a waste of time.
Yeah.
Those things can happen. I love this. I can't remember. Aaron Bland would drink the bathwater of Ron DeSantis if given the chance.
Oh, I think so. It could be dirty and grimy and he'd drink it.
He says, quote, "Hello, 911. I'd like to report a murder. Ron DeSantis just killed Gavin Newsom." And he did in the debate.
He did.
And buddy, it was all planned for Ron. This was all planned for Ron.
Yeah, because Ron and Nikki are Fox's babies for sure. So, but you know what I was surprised about that with Gavin Newsom? I still expected him to be a little bit better than that. He was not good at all. He actually kind of looked like a buffoon.
I think he did it on purpose.
You think so?
It was all planned.
Okay, I don't doubt that.
We have got to find a way to prop up.
Yes, I don't doubt that.
Ron DeSantis. No pun intended with the 4-inch boots. I mean, I promise you.
Right.
Nothing
exactly.
from that standpoint.
There you go.
Okay. So that happened. Just because we got some quick headlines. It's become a national story. This sick F in St. Charles County.
Oh my gosh.
Who him and his friends were holding a 20-year-old young man hostage, forcing him to do IT work, came in from India.
Yep.
No food, beaten in every kind of way, abused in every kind of way, living on an unfinished floor in the basement with no access to a bathroom or food. Thank God St. Charles County found out about this.
Yes.
And Prosecutor McCullough, thank you for your work there, Prosecutor McCullough, for getting that job well done, making And the other thing is to make sure that there's press conferences to make sure that
Yes.
people understand what's going on.
Well, and they
It could happen
lured this
anywhere.
kid over here and promised him an education in Rolla at Missouri S&T. And that's, of course, not what he got. I think he got an online class at the community college. No offense to that. But I cannot even believe the sickness. And I immediately went to, when we talked about this earlier, and you guys had Joe Brazel yesterday. This is why the symbolism of that resolution was so important. Those three that did not vote for this, and I'm not saying these three are illegal.
I like Mike. I talked to him after, and I said I respect
like
him,
too.
even though I disagree with his decision.
Correct. I like Mike. I do, but he's wrong here. I mean, he's absolutely wrong. Even if it's symbolic, we want St. Charles County to be, the bastion of freedom and not have people come over here illegally. That's just wrong. That's wrong.
Aaron's shouting back at me, and I love this. Let me get back to it. I think it was pretty funny what he said, because I said that Aaron would drink the bathwater of Ron DeSantis because he loves it. He's like, nice projection on the bathwater comment, Vic. Has Mar-a-Lago toilet water that Trump tweeted over hit the cancel this merch store yet?
No, it hasn't, but I would go to Mar-a-Lago. I wouldn't drink out of its toilet or anything. But
hey, Aaron, let me let you in on a little secret. That's holy water, baby.
Yeah. Woo.
If there's water in the Trump Mar-a-Lago compound, it's holy water.
Amen. Can I get an amen on that?
This is December 1st. A very merry 1-year celebration show. I wanted to remind everybody while we're talking a little bit right now before we get to our guest, Patrick Willett, who I absolutely love his education, love intelligent people. He, well, first of all, the anniversary / celebration party is Thursday night, 7 p.m. We'll be pushing that out. If you can give us a head count, it would certainly help us. And it helps Winties. They're great people over there. They take care of us, just good people. Ben and Marla take care of us. So if you can let us know how many people, if you can jump on the link, I know we'll be posting that link for you either in the chat and or in our Facebook information as well. Okay, so we're going to get into this at about 8:40 when it comes to a look back in the year, because it's been a wild, crazy ass fun learning about. I will not say I was living my best life.
Yeah, you didn't know what you were getting.
I was like, thank God I'm out of local news.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
This ain't easy.
And I thought you made it look like it was easy because at that 1 year, I was behind the scenes and saw what was going on.
Never let them see you sweat.
Yeah, no.
Until you have to let them see you sweat.
There was some sweating going on.
Joe, could you bring my towel in, man? I'm sweating.
He's sweating now.
Anyway, we appreciate it. Let's bring in our friend, Patrick Willett. He was a part of the year this year. Patrick Willett, the last time we talked to you, my friend, you were telling us who killed JFK, and you backed it up with a lot of evidence because that's what you do. You spend time in your office. Oh, look at you. You got a big old mic too, man. I like your big mic.
He's got a big old mic.
Pat.
It's good to see you guys. Congratulations on the 1-year anniversary.
Yeah, I know.
Glad to be part of it.
Yeah,
Is it really?
Yeah.
I sent you the links.
Oh.
Did you have band practice last night, Eric?
And we made sure. It was actually a couple days ago, but
Yeah.
I was like, Eric has to be here. So it's actually a year and 2 days.
A year and 2 days. Well,
Well,
nice.
Eric, as bad as Seattle's been, we brought Patrick in for a little bit to explain the takeover of Minneapolis.
Okay.
What has happened beneath the surface? And Patrick breaks things down. When you told me about this, I'm like, I didn't even know this was a story. I had no idea what was going on. So, Patrick, the stage is yours. Get us set. What the hell's going on in Minneapolis?
Yeah, so this is a deep dive into the recently released documentary that Liz Collin did. Liz Collin, little background on her, was in mainstream media for years until she just couldn't take the hypocrisy and the lack of integrity sort of paradigm.
I know the feeling.
Mainstream media. Yeah. So she's an investigative reporter, and she, her first project was taking on the Minneapolis situation with George Floyd, and she did a documentary about it, and I did a deep dive on that. And I'll be honest with you, some of this is hard to take. It's hard to hear. It's hard. It's appalling, really, the things that happen. And everything that you're going to hear, and I've tried to condense this. I know we're pressed for time. Everything you're going to hear was suppressed by the radical left and the mainstream media until after the Chauvin trial, which, again, once you hear it, you'll be appalled.
Well, it seems like we know what happened. It's why it happens. That's always my question. Why is it happening to St. Louis? Why is it happening in Minneapolis, Los Angeles? What happened?
Chicago.
Yeah, what happened when Mike Brown and Floyd? Was it just opportunistic timing for people who were on the left saying this is our opportunity to break down the society? Why? We know what happened, but why did it happen?
I think you're exactly right. I think you just answered your own question. I think it was completely staged. Mm-hmm. And I think to really understand this, you have to understand the history of George Floyd. He had a long rap sheet, at least 10 convictions of drugs and aggravated robbery with firearms, serious, crimes prior to that incident. And the thing with him is he has a pattern of two things. He doesn't listen to the cops. So he just completely ignores all requests by police every time he's arrested. And there's multiple body cam footage of all his arrests, and they're almost identical. His behavior is almost identical in all of them. He ignores the cops. He resists arrests. And one thing that he does, which sort of sparked this whole thing, was he never shows his hands. I don't know if you've ever been arrested or know somebody who's been arrested or watched TV with cops. The first thing they do is show me your hands, because they don't know what they have, right? I mean, you have a gun. It's all for protection. And he never does that. Right. And what we find out in the documentary is when the police approach him in all these incidents, he's got one hand, he shows his left hand. He's always in the driver's seat for some reason. He'll show his left hand, but his right hand he eats the drugs that he has. Yeah. That's what he does.
I haven't seen the documentary. I've heard a lot about it. Mm-hmm. Have you guys watched it?
No, I haven't.
Well, one of the things to me, if this is true, having your knee on the neck of a suspect to either isolate them or to keep them down is in the manual somewhere. I've never read the manual for becoming a police in Minneapolis, but if that's the truth,
it was in the manual.
Isn't that an acquittal, like an immediate acquittal? It's like,
you would think so.
I mean, if the cause of death, even if it was knee on neck caused the guy to die, asphyxiation, whatever it is, and then the prosecutor or the defense attorney can have the police department come in and say, yes, on page 171 it says to put knee on, he was trained to do this. Yeah. Doesn't that acquit him of any culpability at that point?
Sure, but that was suppressed. And also, not only that, the chief inspector for the Minneapolis police and the chief of police on the stand lied and said that was not, there's an actual name for it. It's called maximum restraint technique. And so the picture that you see, first of all, let's just establish this. None of the body cam footage from any of the cops was admitted to court. So the only thing that was admitted was a 7-minute and 46-second cell phone video that was taken by an off-duty fire person, fireman. She was a woman. So that's all anyone ever saw, was a 7-minute video from a cell phone. None of the body cam footage was admitted to court. Mm-hmm. And both of the inspector and the chief both lied under oath, saying that was not part of training. In fact, that image not only is maximum restraint technique an actual chapter in the training manual, there's a diagram displaying the procedure in the manual, which is identical to what Chauvin was doing. And the documentary involves 5 since retired Minneapolis police, particularly one woman who's a lieutenant. She trained Chauvin, and she said that Derek Chauvin did everything that he was trained to do throughout that entire
Didn't
process.
It scare you that this was the first on television, what I can remember, this was the first political trial?
But everybody knew what was going to happen before the trial began.
Exactly.
And then the truth always comes out after, because as we know recently, the autopsy said, he didn't die of strangulation or asphyxiation.
That's right.
He
Yeah.
died of fentanyl overdose.
That's right.
Absolutely. And
That's
like
right.
Tara's
And
saying,
then-
he died as, or Chauvin was a sacrificial lamb. I mean,
Yeah.
that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In the documentary from the body cam footage, the first officer who approached his car. So what happened was 911 got a call that an out of control drunk man was trying to pay. So from a store clerk, 911 call from a store clerk saying that an out of control drunk man was trying to pay with fake bills. So when the cops showed up, he was across the street sitting in his car with two other people in the car. So as what you don't see until the documentary is, as he approaches the car, George Floyd, when he's talking, has like white baggies in his mouth. They're in his mouth. You can see them.
Okay.
So
if the first trial was a trial of political opportunity, could the appeal be another trial of political opportunity, showing how the left suppresses stuff? Are we starting to kind of open our eyes to what's going on, and maybe Derek Chauvin has a chance of getting out of jail?
He's not getting out of jail.
You don't think so? Is
Well,
he
I
the
hope
sacrificial
so,
lamb
Derek,
forever? You know what I mean? It's
I hope so. I think he should be acquitted immediately.
right.
I mean, God, unfortunately, he was.
I mean, Darren
stabbed.
Wilson went through something very similar. I mean, he missed it by the skin of his teeth, but there was enough
right.
evidence that actually came. I always thought, and I'm an idiot because I break down things that are probably wrong, but I always thought Michael Brown was this weird trial balloon. Like, could they get away with it? Look at what they're acquiring
That's not bizarre at all, Eric.
by
That's
rallying
right
in
on.
St. Louis. Look at CNN is completely in the bag for. Okay, this might work. The next racial thing that happens on camera, we're using it. Does that seem feasible, or is that because if that's the
Spot
truth?
on.
Because that was
It's
the
the
day.
paradigm.
Yeah, that was
It's
the
the new
day that I
pa-
was
it's
like,
the
oh
paradigm.
no, the blindfold has
Mhm.
come off Lady Liberty.
You betcha.
Yeah,
Pat,
yeah. I mean, I think that goes across every issue in our country in the last 3 years, right? I mean, it's the paradigm for the far left radicals: suppress the truth, create this propaganda, perpetrate these false narratives to get. But it's just so insane and so in plain sight that it was all done intentionally. And if we get into what was actually the damage that was caused as a result of this, particularly with the third precinct. And I was going to try to break this down into 3 parts today.
Patrick, before you get into the third precinct, which
of
is
course.
so important, we love our show because we give everybody a voice. Devil's advocate from Greg saying, just think about the possibility. Would it have mattered 9 minutes having a knee to the back of somebody's upper back/neck be too long? 9 minutes?
No. First of all, again, it's just doctoring the video. If you look at the right angles of that, when he's not on his neck, he's on his shoulder, and that's how you're trained. George Floyd was dying of an overdose so he was resisting. He wouldn't get into the back of the car, so they put him on the sidewalk. He starts foaming at the mouth.
Yep.
And this was all done very civilly. I mean, if he had he not resisted arrest, the whole situation would have been conducted extremely civil, in a relaxed. The cops were not contentious. Only at first when he wouldn't show his hands, but then when he was resisting and he wouldn't get in the back of the car to go downtown to get booked for forgery, they just put him on the sidewalk, and that's when he started overdosing.
Yeah.
And when they saw him foaming at the mouth, they called 911. 911 EMS ambulance is 8 blocks away. It took 25 minutes for them to get.
Yeah, this is a weird one
Mhm.
because everything lives in the same space. Cop,
Right.
Minneapolis, knee, death.
Mhm.
It's how you look. It's the weird thing about America now. We all
racism.
can look at the same video. This is the craziest, stupidest, dumbass thing of what's going on in the world right now. We can all look at the same video and everybody come out with a totally different outcome of what should happen. To me, good copping, being a good cop is following the manual. He followed the manual. He's acquitted by. Deaths happen. I'm a big person that's like, if a cop in the blue says, put your hands behind your back. You're going to jail.
Yeah, do it.
You are complicit.
Yes.
You put your hands behind and go, let's go. I'll take the Egg McMuffin breakfast. Let's go.
There you go. Egg McMuffin breakfast.
And when you don't do that, things like this can happen.
Exactly.
If you look like you're pulling something out of your pocket, from the last time I checked, a cop has the right to draw his weapon. If you do something that even furthers that, you are in jeopardy of you losing your life.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's the way. Right.
That's how I was brought up anyway. I mean, that's kind of why law enforcement is good, is because there is a consequence for taking on a law enforcement officer.
Absolutely.
And that was the beginning of the end of that. You know,
it's a Chris sandwich.
And are there some, are there some bad cops out there? Sure. I'm sure there are people who sign up just so they can put someone's head through a glass.
Hey, Patrick, could you do us a favor?
But those are anomalies.
Yeah.
Those are anomalies. 95% of cops are there for the right reasons.
Hey, Patrick, could you do us a favor? Yes. Could you click off and zoom back on and bing back on? Something happened with your sound.
It was me. It was my fault.
It was
my fault.
All of a sudden, we deal with this stuff all the time. You had a perfect connection and everything was working great.
Why does Joe Rogan never have this happen to him?
Oh, he has it happen every other week.
Does he really?
Oh, yeah.
I take it back.
Wow. He does. He has it happen.
It gives us hope.
Yes.
We're like, hell, if Rogan making hundreds of millions of dollars a year can mess up, we can have one here and there.
And it's a Chris sandwich in O'Fallon.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Chris sandwich.
Yeah.
That's right.
Shut up. I know you're on drugs. It's like remember Mayberry, and you would go to jail and they would just put you in jail overnight.
Well, they made it seem like it was fun.
Yes.
Like everything was good.
Yes. He would be sitting there like having a conversation with Andy. It's like, he was just sleeping off his.
Unfortunately, that's like Dorothy. We're not in Kansas anymore.
I know.
We're not.
I don't think Mayberry. Is,
Patrick.
Funny as that isn't a great example there.
I know.
I know.
Hey, Patrick, could you try one more time, my friend? We appreciate it. It's still there, buddy.
Yeah, something keeps happening with your audio.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's that northeast signal that they have going on up there. Here's my deal with Derek Chauvin in Minneapolis. Yeah, I would love for him to get out. I don't think it's going to happen. And the longer he stays in, the more apt he is to being killed or murdered after being stabbed multiple times.
I don't believe in sacrificial lambs for political reasons. That's why I think everything they're doing to Trump is, I don't give a damn about if you like Trump or if you hate Trump. Right. If they do this to Trump, this is a new weapon.
Hell yes.
This is a new arrow in the quiver.
Absolutely. Last night when Tucker was on the Cancel This with Roseanne Barr, he basically said exactly what you're saying, Eric. He said he had to stay kind of neutral on which Republican candidate he would be on. And so a lot of people then thought that he didn't like Donald Trump. But when literally they went and raided Mar-a-Lago, he was like, game's off. Game's off. If they can do that to Donald like that, they can do it to you.
And that's when he said he would vote for Donald. Now, he said that he wasn't sure if he would have voted for Trump before then.
Correct. That's exactly right.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, but it's unfortunate again, Patrick. I don't know what's going on with that. For whatever reason, the sound is not working.
I'm wondering if like a cord is loose and like a connection. It sounds like a loose connection with the microphone or something.
On your end, Patrick, we appreciate it. Yeah.
It's like really crackly, and it's only when you talk.
Everything. Okay.
And it only happens when you're talking, my friend.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because everybody's saying they hear him fine. Maybe it's in our studio. We'll just continue on with it. If people have a problem, that's fine. Patrick, you were
everything looks good on my end.
Yeah, there you go.
Now it's fine.
You were just getting ready to break down the precinct and what happened with that precinct.
Yeah. So let's wrap it up with this. And this is unfortunate because this is the first time that this has ever had. Two things happened with the 3rd precinct that's never happened in the history of our country. One, it's no precinct has ever been taken over or let be taken over by a riot. Okay. In other words, any police department will supply all the resources they can to prevent that from happening. But secondly, it was forfeited. It was literally forfeited. Now that Lieutenant Heron woman, which, as things are brewing, and again, guys, CNN and MSNBC told us it was peaceful protest. The town was burning. Yeah. I mean, cut up dead pigs were being hurled at police. Molotov cocktails, bottles being thrown, cops losing teeth, and they're told and all their requests fell on deaf ears. They were told to stand down, don't arrest anyone, don't do anything. So when the cops, and again, just to, you have to understand a lot of these precincts to these cops, they spend more time there than their own home. So it's very personal to them. So the thought of giving up the precinct is unheard of. It was devastating for them. So what happened was a lot of these cops saw the writing on the wall and went to clear out their lockers. As they were doing that, 2 vans showed up to remove all the artifacts and the memorabilia that had collected over the years, and also to remove the cameras. Yeah. And that's when the lieutenant said, okay, they're going to forfeit the precinct. They're going to let this go to the rioters. And that's what happened. And they weren't given, one more thing, they weren't given any riot gear. All they had to protect themselves with these little helmets that really don't do anything. Yeah. And again, when you're, it's just unheard of.
Does this, I'm sorry, I'm going to say something super controversial.
Say it.
This is one of the cities. St. Louis is one of the cities. Am I the only one on the planet Earth that looks on these cities and just looks, I cannot wait for them to fail and see what happens after the failure has, when does St. Louis become East St. Louis? When does Minneapolis become a rundown little town? Am I the only one that looks forward to, look, this, you guys did this, have fun with that. And in the meantime, red cities or cities that are governed well thrive. Am I the only one that looks forward to that? Or is that just or do you guys want Minneapolis fixed? Would you like to see Minneapolis fixed?
I am kind of with you, Eric. Part of me wants to see all goodness and somebody get a brain and start running these shithole type cities way better. But there's cause and effect. Maybe they should absolutely burn to the ground, probably more figuratively than literally, because they are.
Well, I'll tell you this, everybody wants Trump to come back because he has the ability to shake things up, right?
Correct. Yes.
Well, guess what? St. Louis has a Tashara Jones that needs to get shaked up as well.
Right.
Well,
this is across the board.
It started a little bit, but we had our own riots. We're watching video for our listeners from the nights in Minneapolis and the 3rd precinct of Minneapolis Police Department being overtaken. We had riots, and we lost Captain Dorn. He lost his life that night trying to guard a store as a security officer. We dealt with that stuff. And we also wanted to show the video that Patrick was referring to, and you get some of that video when George Floyd refused to get in the police car, which started everything because he refused to comply because he was out of his mind on fentanyl, which is what he died from. And if you say that in mainstream media, you're considered a racist.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be hard. If this is ever really exposed, in Derek Chauvin's appeal, this is all going to come out.
But does it matter? Does it matter? Do you get to how thick is the lens of politics?
I don't think there's any way around it, Eric. I think the evidence is so strong and palpable in favor of Derek Chauvin. There's no way that he can stay in jail for 22 years for doing his job.
He almost got killed. He might not have to stay in jail. He got stabbed.
Everything we've talked about, like I said at the beginning, was suppressed till after the trial. This is everything that they didn't want you to know or hear.
Yeah.
So inevitably, I think once it does come out in a trial, I don't see how anyone could keep him in jail. I really don't. It would be a travesty if it happened. It is now. It is now that just one day in jail for this person is a sad day for America and for police.
Yeah, I don't think anyone in this room or in this country wanted to see Michael Brown or George Floyd die. And the video of the knee made me kind of stay up at night for a while. We were just showing
it. Sure. His knee was very high.
But that was all taken out of context, guys. And again, let's not. We're not celebrating anyone's death.
No.
George Floyd. Right? It's not about that at all. It's just about the suppression of the truth of what really happened and the persecution of a good cop who is only doing his job.
Yeah. True story.
Patrick, honest opinion. Give us your odds Derek Chauvin gets out of prison. I'm saying he doesn't.
Oh.
It would be a nightmare if he did.
Yeah, and that's the sad part. Could you imagine what would happen to towns if he got out?
Yeah, it'd be a TikTok
What do you
event.
mean? Well,
Yes.
Lizzie, with all due respect, it already happened. It's happening as we speak. What else could be done if he gets acquitted?
Right. Well, and I think he should get out.
The thing is I think what we're missing is, so to answer your question, 60-40, he gets out.
Okay.
60-40.
I love it. You brightened up our.
Don't forget, guys, this is the paradigm that the far left radicals want. They want all these big cities that crime is through the roof and being overrun by illegal immigrants. This is what they want. They want chaos. So it makes it's job security for the far left elite.
Yeah, you're right.
It is. I know. A year ago that sounded crazy. I've been talking about this for a year on my podcast, but now people are starting to see exactly what we're talking about. I know you guys. I know we're all on the same page. I'm not telling you anything you don't know politically, but I think the rest of America, who most of them are asleep, right? I think they're all starting to see it, and God willing, people vote for America, not for Trump,
correct,
or whomever the Republican is, but for America. I say it all the time on my podcast. It's not about Trump. Don't vote for Trump. You don't even have to tell anyone who you vote for.
That's true.
Correct. You don't.
Vote for America. Vote for America, because we're losing America.
We sure are. We sure are losing America.
Yeah. And I think that, I think that, and I say again this a lot, I think we're almost too far gone. I think that these egregious policies have been so pervasive that we're almost too far gone. And I think the only way out of this is that if we gain control.
No, I would say I would have said a month, 2 months, 6 months ago, I would agree with you. I do think that we are in a fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice mode, because I think COVID, people are like, I'm not taking your dumbass vaccine right now. Right. You can try to lie to me again. And so that's one thing. I think that people are also like, I'm done with homeless crime in cities. I think that's number two. And I can't wait to see how that gets resolved. Number three, if Trump does come into office and they start to see some of these, cities get cleaned up, people might go, we were duped.
Voting for America is what you have to do. And then you break down the candidates from that standpoint. But Eric, I agree with everything you said except number three. If Donald Trump is elected, because now we're seeing it all over the world where you have you have the majority in these countries rallying, but somehow, some way, the socialist and Marxist dictator-esque, are the ones who are attaining office. How is that when the majority of the country appears to be against it?
Yeah.
Correct. And that's the same here with America. Well, the only way Trump does not win is if they cheat again. That's it. Otherwise, he wins, and he wins in a landslide, and we've got to have that.
Yeah.
I'll leave you guys with this. If I was running for office in 2024 election, albeit Congress, presidency, or even locally, I would hit on three things. I would talk about the riots and show clips and remind people of the hell that we went through in 2020, which we now know was totally staged by the radical left.
Yes.
I would hit on Bidenomics and all of its failures. And then I would also talk about the open border. Republicans have failed miserably in the last two elections, in the midterms and in the recent local ones. I don't know how they did out there, but they did. They failed here in the East Coast. And I think, Ronna McDaniel's a problem. I think she's got to go. I've been talking about that for a long time. We're just not hitting the mark.
The problem is
you left one massive thing out, Patrick.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
You left one. I agree with you. I'd vote for you in a second, and I think you've hit everything right. But there's one reason, in my humble opinion, why the Republicans have not done well the last two elections. One word: abortion.
Yes.
Democrats are dominating.
Yeah. Come up
a 12% clip.
Come up with a thesis on how Republicans handle abortion.
Correct.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
I think I
think if it's done correctly and enough, that those three things I mentioned should be able to overtake that.
I agree. It should be.
Yeah. It didn't pan out in Virginia. That's for sure.
But are these candidates talking and reminding people about the 2020 riots? No. The answer is no. Are they hitting on Bidenomics and all of its failures? No.
Do you think that the Republicans
talk about the open border?
Do you think that the Republicans need to secede or give over the abortion debate to the Democrats. Say it's yours. We'll bring back Roe versus Wade so that they don't get trounced on every election moving forward. It is amazing to me how big of a deal that is for Republicans.
Well, yes, to answer your question. But the thing about abortion, it's a touchy subject, but what most Republicans don't want with abortion, it's not that they're against abortion across the board. It's the time when the baby is a human being. So what is that? Close to, the left is.
It gets to be sticky.
Yes.
Yeah, it does.
Tell that to a
Catholic. And I'm not going to step in the shoes of a woman, but at the point where the baby is a human being, all the Republicans are saying you shouldn't be able to abort a human being. It's murder. That's all. They're not against abortion across the board. They want abortion with limits.
Well, you're right. All of you guys are right. If I was Ronna McDowell, and somebody else has to become Ronna McDowell, by the way, she is a complete hack.
Yeah, she is.
But if she,
but she's there for a reason.
No, I don't know what the reason is, but
the reason is that she is part of it.
Yeah, she's
her interview with CNN showed who Ronna is.
She's a rhino.
Bingo.
Well, fine. If you
Ronna the rhino.
If you want to be, if you want to win in the other way, here's what you do: you spend 12 to 14 months on the abortion thing. You make commercials. You have cause and effect. You have pro and cons. You come up with a solution. You go, Republicans are for a 15-week ban. You have way more than enough time to make a decision within that. And then you start showing clips of how this fetus becomes a child. Fetus becomes a child. And it's just rerun, TikTok, Facebook, whatever advertising you have to do to let the world know you're voting for this. The kid, this is a child now. Because I don't think women don't put the two and two together. They go, this is my body. Right. This is my body, and you're not messing with my body. Okay,
young women more.
Period.
So.
End of story. Right.
And you might have to remember the old camp. I'm really old. There was a campaign. This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs, and it was a visual. It was a visual, and that's what the world needs right now. It needs a visual.
I do think the Republicans learned from Ohio. They got crushed in Ohio on that subject because they didn't have a campaign structure. They were not ready to go.
No, they're like ostriches. They put their head in the sand and they think, oh my God, that no one's going to be talking about abortion or social issues. Well, of course they are. It's just as important as anything else.
Hey, Patrick.
Yeah, it's almost like they're afraid to touch it or back up what they're.
Yes, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, Patrick. Thank you so much for your time, man. It's been
always a pleasure, guys. Thank you for having me.
We got to have you back on again. Let me know what the next subject is. Hopefully,
I'll my next deep dive, I'll let you know.
Very good.
I'd like to come on more often, but it's just talking about more things you guys are already covering. So I think my niche with you guys is sort of the deep dives. Which I appreciate.
And you didn't even bring up the bricks that were implanted in cities by somebody.
We didn't even get a chance to get to it.
Correct.
Soros.
Right. Yeah. Again, I tried to condense this thing, but this could have been like another JFK segment, which we did.
I think we're getting it now. I think I know
that.
I think the American people are understanding what's going on here.
Me too.
Maybe they might not.
But it was really important for people to know exactly why George Floyd was arrested, why he died, and that total sort of all the things that cops do on a routine basis that are in the training manual and what they're trained to do was thrown out the window by
maybe your next deep dive with us.
Chief of police.
They're
all lied under oath to perpetrate this riot. And who knows for what reason, right? We kind of know, but I'll never understand. I'll never understand it.
Here's your next deep dive. Why do CEOs of companies allow criminals to come in and take whatever they want when they know their insurance is going to go up, their price of goods is going to go up, and their business bottom line is going to go down, and how they can do that in front of their shareholders? I would love to know how that is possible.
Patrick, can that be the next one?
Because they're hogtied to the radical left, Eric.
Patrick,
I have no choice.
Patrick, we appreciate it, buddy.
Always a pleasure, guys.
Thanks,
Congrats again. We'll talk soon.
All right,
Thank
sounds
you.
good. Patrick Willett, always checking in from the Northeast with lots of information, and it breaks it down. Derek Chauvin, I'm glad that he believes, and he's pretty pragmatic. I mean, 60-40 that Chauvin gets out of prison.
Man.
Well, and I do hope he does. And I agree with Patrick that already a lot of this damage was done, to Eric's point about all of the bricks and all of that were put all over the place. But lately I've been talking to some people that really didn't get the whole COVID thing. And people are like, I'm not getting one more of those shots.
No.
I'm not getting any more of this. I don't believe what they're saying. So even the most ardent, cupcake person is starting to see
the percentages have dropped
dramatically.
They've dropped of people who are doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And, and we've talked about COVID a lot, going all the way back to 2020, March of 2020, when we were the Edge on Radio. And then we came over here, and go figure, today is our 1-year anniversary celebration show.
Where's the cake?
Yeah, I know.
I know. Somebody asked me if we had a cake. I guess we will have a cake, though, at the celebration.
Where's
the cake?
Eric, next Thursday.
If it's any consequence, I did have cocktails at Wendy's last night.
Oh, well, then that was worth it.
Are you serious?
I love that.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know, but now I do know.
Now you do know.
And now I'm putting them together.
I stopped by and saw Ben for about 15, 20 minutes.
Did you really?
But I was there when I left the station here from working, but that was early, like 6.
Yeah.
Well, Eric, you're going to be there next December
Thursday.
7th?
I didn't even know there was a next Thursday.
Well, next Thursday, 7 p.m. Wendy's,
Yeah.
the 1-year anniversary celebration.
Yes, you got to be
Cocktails next Thursday night for Eric.
Watch your mouth.
And all of his friends. We appreciate all of you guys for making the year what it is. It's been up and down all around. Eric, before you got here, I said, I was looking back at our first show and I was like, man, I'm living my best life.
Yeah.
And then I looked at myself and I'm like, what the hell was I thinking?
Yeah,
what
a dumbass.
It is exactly. What a freaking year of stress. And here we are.
However,
you're
like a meme.
Yeah.
Persistence, hard work, drive, stamina, good looks. I threw the good looks in there.
And sitting out in the curb.
But
we'll get you nowhere unless you're lucky.
Yeah.
I get it. I appreciate it.
But this is created out of thought right here, what you're looking at. And it grew and it grew and it grew and it grew and it grew. And it keeps growing. And this is the way to communicate with audiences now, worldwide.
Yes.
Nationally, locally, whatever it is. This is it. So
everybody who's been on the show and started from the get-go has certainly had a point in at least helping it at some point in time.
Oh, yeah.
Do what we've tried to do.
Big time.
I couldn't be more grateful for Lizzie, for Projo for being here, for your coming in when you can on Fridays. We're trying to do our best, and we appreciate you guys, the listeners, the viewers who make this happen.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to say this. I've seen some shows that do like something like this online.
Mm-hmm.
One was from News Nation not too long ago. It was someone from News Nation.
Yeah.
And I was watching it and I was like, this is horrible.
I've seen some.
Yeah.
I get it.
I
It's
don't want to
the
start
News
crying.
Nation brand.
They should take our damn show.
I was thinking the same thing.
I have reached out to everybody.
I was like this is a self-produced show. Most shows have 4 or 5 people that are doing so much crap to make it. This is, you come on and you just start winging it.
Lizzie,
and that's how beautiful it is.
Myself, our listeners all throw stories out.
Yes.
And then we try to put them together in a way that is presentable, a way that's entertaining. And that's why we call it the fastest 2 hours in podcasting, because it goes so damn fast.
Yeah.
And it's not easy to produce. It's not. But we love what we do. And we're passionate about it. You have to be passionate.
Yeah.
And of course, if there was nobody chiming in on our chat line and
they're
talking,
just great. The chat line is great. Our listeners
with what Lizzie
wonderful.
does and cultivating that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's it's branched off, and now we're starting to hear from other people wanting to do their own shows, and
they should
and come in here.
They should.
If you want a show, I mean, if it's once a week, come in. We'll produce it for an hour. It's not even that expensive. And you can have your own voice as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be on a variety of topics. It doesn't just have to be this.
Exactly.
As a matter of fact, the show is now ballooning itself or pushing itself into something else now.
Yeah, I agree.
Lizzie and Derek, who comes in, and Projo are going to be doing a Lou show.
A what?
A Lou.
Down Low in the Lou. It's going to be called Down Low in the Lou.
Okay.
Premieres December 15th.
Brought to you by Camo. And
there you go.
And 9 mil.
That's right.
By
Get your camo in your guns.
Bulletproof glass. Down in the Lou. All right. Sorry.
Yeah. Now it's
good for you. What's it going to be about?
it's going to be about St. Louis, but it's not just about the crime and stuff in St. Louis. We want to be the people that when you walk into a restaurant, they're like, oh my God, there they are. There they come, because we're going to critique their business and then put it out for everybody to see. And we're hoping, and we'll try to give them a warning, so to speak.
What? No. You're a secret shopper.
Jeannie.
Well,
Jeannie.
It's like
Jeannie,
Gavin
yes.
Newsom.
Cancel this is going nowhere.
Yeah, well, cancel this is still staying.
We're branching out.
On cancel
the
this.
whole goal when we started this was a full network of shows day and night. We just need the people.
Correct.
And then we train the people, and we've got certain shows. I mean, Wesley Smith's outside our studio right now. He does a show called The Wolf of Washington.
Slightly right.
Slightly right. The Wolf of Washington. You know, so, and then Joe does a music / tattoo show.
Well, it's art. It's not necessarily tattoo.
Called
it's
Audio
music,
Inc.
Comedy. It's anything art.
Low down in the loo.
Low down in the loo. And it is. And to your point, Eric, that's right. We are going to go in, and they may not be warned.
Good.
And we're going to tell people about, boy, this pizza, that kind of sucks. Or, oh, that's really good. Or we'll compare 2 different food places. We will compare different types of businesses, and we're going to be like calling out the good ones.
I've gone to 2 restaurants because of Brown and Crouppen. Because Brown and Crouppen does that weird show where they go to walk around and eat sandwiches or whatever they do.
Yeah. Don't you love that?
Yeah. And he goes, this is the best sandwich I've ever had. I literally drove 25 miles.
That show was.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Late Saturday night when I got home, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm 5 drinks, 6 drinks in. I'm like, what the hell am I watching?
And I did. And he goes, they were all like doing 6 sub sandwiches. I was like, all right, I got to go check that out.
This show will be better than that.
Oh,
I
definitely.
Hey, we were talking about 1 year anniversary, and of course, the guest that we had. We'll get to the guest in just a second, or advertiser. Speaking of the devil, Wesley Smith, he does a show. And he goes live. Wesley, how are you doing, buddy? You're on camera now. Yes.
Oh, I'm on. Oh, crap.
Yeah.
I'm doing all right.
Get used to it.
See, but you got your show slightly right. And, Lizzie reached out to you, and you're like, damn, I love Cancel This. And then it kind of branched you into a show. And you're a politician.
Well, no, political pundit now. I did run for office.
What'd you run for?
United States Congress against Ann Wagner.
And you had no chance, not because you're not good.
Well, no,
great. We just know Ann Wagner is part of
she sucks.
Uniparty, and she does.
You got better hair than she does, I'll tell you.
Yeah, well, I did get this weird haircut when I was going to court in Florida, so.
There you go.
So what's going to happen with Ann? Is she running again, or?
Probably.
Is she really?
She's a career politician. I mean,
I thought this was her last run for that seat.
I don't know.
Hey, by the way, tell everybody what your show's about if they want to catch you.
So my show pretty much it's only on Tuesdays at noon, except for the special episode tonight or today, I guess, right after you guys are done. But yeah, we just talk about pretty much everything. We have some motivation in there. Talk about relationships, talk about politics, and I go on rants and talk shit on pretty much. Oh, can I say that on your show?
Yeah, of course you can.
Well, you never know.
This isn't Clear Channel, for God's sake.
Anyway, so Wesley goes, we just talk crap.
Wesley says Vic's too nice.
Yeah, I did say that.
Yeah, that was said on the show.
So Vic was hosting the show the other day, and I was like, he said, Joe, you SOB. And I said, oh, he didn't say the real word.
No, he didn't.
I'm upset. I'm upset now.
He didn't say it.
So
he's not Elon Musk yet.
Yeah. Well, I just dropped my kids off at school, and I was like, if I go home, I'm going to take a nap because my nap schedule, the way that my sleeping schedule is, I need to take a nap after I drop them off.
What are you passionate about in politics right now? Every pundit that I've ever talked to, some pundits are about the border, someone's about fentanyl, whatever. What are you passionate about, or is it across the board? Is it St. Louis? Are you St. Louis focused, or is it international?
No, we talk mostly like politics for the whole nation.
Okay.
And most of my stuff is our military and wars that warmongers in Washington are fighting.
People
They're beating the drum of war
Wesley,
right
and
now.
thank Wesley for his service as well. Because
thank you very much.
You're welcome for my service.
And not only has he done he's done military time, he's done hard military time.
Yeah.
Legitimate service where you put your life in danger.
I mean, those guys are the ones like, hey, what'd you do when you were over there? I can't tell you.
No, not that. I didn't say that. No. Actually, my most prized possession from the military is my certificate of appreciation from Donald Trump. That's the only thing I have that is like cool.
That's cool.
But I got this awesome like paper that came from his office, and it's like, we appreciate your service. It was 2000. I was in the 2017-18 campaign in Afghanistan. It was called The Last Fighting Cowboys, and it was when Trump first took office. He got rid of the rules of engagement and was like, "We want you guys to annihilate ISIS." That was the last mission I went on before I got in
Mhm.
the parachute accident. And
Yeah.
the rest is history.
Well, I just want to come on and let people know. By the way, the links do work, right, Joe? We had a question. Do the do post with the link to Wesley's show come up on Cancel This?
Well, I mean, when he goes live, no, it just
Follow
comes up.
Wesley on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's probably the best way.
It's the Wolf of Washington. You can look up the Wolf of Washington on Facebook, and then, like I said, we go live every Tuesday at noon,
Can I-
right here in this
you
studio.
Can I
No.
beg you? You look young. How old are you?
28.
Oh, okay. So you're a millennial, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get another millennial on here. I'm begging.
We
that's
do.
that's a liberal,
Yeah, we do.
He does.
and fry them.
We do.
We
argue all
I
the
will
time.
tune in every damn
You would
Tuesday
like
for
that
that.
show.
Do you guys-
would like
Every
that
you
show.
guys-
Tuesday. As a matter of fact, I'm coming in.
Eric, this
yeah.
is your type
have
of show.
Eric in. Have
Yeah.
Eric in.
You
I am
should.
begging. How do you even find them to get
Well,
to come on?
Vic actually got me the liberal.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I disarm the liberals with kindness and sweetness.
You
No.
do.
Well, what Wesley does not. He goes right for their throat.
Yeah.
Eric, you need to go on that show with him. That would be.
I'll sit in that chair right there, just like this.
You would like it. So she stands here. She
Oh,
stands
it's
here.
a she.
It's a she.
Okay.
She's too sweet.
She
not.
is. She's really
She is
sweet.
very
She
nice.
Oh,
really-
so she wins the debate by being sweet.
Yeah.
No. I still go off on my tangents, and
Okay.
it's a fun time though. And the thing is, we don't want to argue the whole show because then people don't want to watch it. Like it's just an
that's-
argument.
that's
we all
the
know
key.
that.
Do you have-
You want to argue, but not to the point that you think it's mom and dad arguing and the
Yep.
little kid goes in
Hey.
the closet.
Real quick, do you have your full crew today?
No, it's just me. Today's
Okay.
a special episode for a special announcement, and that's it.
So
Oh.
catch Wesley at 10:30 following
Yep.
us today for a special announcement. You won't want to miss that. The Wolf of Washington.
Love it.
Buddy, hey, thank you, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate you
no
jumping
problem.
in. We'll catch up with you. in
See you
just a
guys.
little
I'm
bit.
tuning in.
Yeah, tune in. And really, Eric, I mean it, really be on his show because you two being together in a
Mhm,
show
mhm.
along with the liberal would
Oh, it would be
it would
unfair.
be
That would be
beautiful.
pretty entertaining.
Oh,
I'm
I
not
would
going to
love
lie.
it. Eric,
It'd be
you gotta
unfair.
do it,
It'd be unfair.
but do it anyway.
It'd be unfair. They
Because
would.
the liberals are always unfair to us. So
Aaron says I'm lying. He's like, Vic, you went him over with your Speedo.
that's right. His Speedo.
That's right. The red, white, and blue, baby.
Yep, on his tractor.
The
riding
stars
lawnmower.
and
Yeah.
the one stripe.
Mm.
Hey, by the way, guests that we've had in the last year, I wanted to get this out and think of other guests that we've had just
Yeah.
as we reminisce a little
Put
bit.
them on our chat line. If you guys think of a guest that you really like, start putting them on our chat line.
And by the way,
Yeah.
Kelly Mano, our good friend, is coming in just a few minutes as well.
Yeah.
Eric, if you didn't read the show notes, relationships,
I did.
advice for marriage. You ready for this? She
I
actually,
can't wait.
she's like, is Eric coming in? And I'm like, yeah, why? And she's like, because a lot of things I need to talk, I think I need Eric in here. today."
Good. We love it when Eric's here. Everybody loves it when Eric's
remember we had
here.
Kyle Rittenhouse?
Yeah.
And he's back. I mean, he is still fighting his ass off.
Uh-huh.
Kyle was a very
Yeah.
popular guest that we had. Alana Trepler from OAN.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember the other OAN anchor we had.
We had Chanel.
Chanel.
Chanel, and then we had another guy,
Oh,
a
that's
younger
right.
guy
It was
from
a younger
California,
guy.
from San
That's
Diego.
exactly right.
He hosts a show every night on OAN.
Oh, I'm drawing a blank on his name. Okay. Yeah. But he was good.
Of course, Jay Ashcroft. He's
Mhm.
running
Mm-hmm.
for a big spot, governor.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Eigel,
Eigel.
Missouri State Senator, running
Yeah.
that. Nick Schroer, of course, Missouri Senate.
Mhm.
Owen Schroyer,
Yeah.
who's been in the news. Unfortunately, he's in prison. We
So
pray the
sad.
best for him right now. He, quote, violated his probation being at the January 6th. Never went in the Capitol, but he was outside.
That
Allegedly,
is
that violated his
Yeah.
probation.
Mm.
That's bad.
Never went in, but had to go to prison because of it. Michael Voris, church militant founder, we've had him on a couple times to talk
Mhm.
faith and the FBI going after him. I don't know if you guys remember that or not.
Yeah.
From a Catholic standpoint, we've had all kinds of UFO guys and paranormal. And
Yeah.
Eric, last I knew, Eric was going to go meet Lily Nova at a lake at 364 to
Yeah.
communicate
Did
with
you ever
aliens.
meet with her at the lake?
No, but I live at a lake. I live at a lake right now.
Yeah. You could have her over.
You don't have to go into this now. I've seen some weird stuff over my lake.
I think it's a lake thing.
Recently you have?
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder if lakes like attract.
I don't
Those
know.
sort
But
of things.
I've seen like that is not a plane.
When you meditate, do your ears ring?
Well, that's because of high blood pressure.
We've had all kinds of cupcake and January 6th attorneys.
Yes.
John Rourke, who works the border operation cleanup, he's been absolutely amazing, giving us an inside look at the border recently. Colonel Joe.
Colonel Joe.
With his militia.
Yes.
out in mid-Missouri taking care of business. I loved Grover Norquist, who worked for Ronald Reagan. That guy was brilliant when we had him on talking economy and numbers. One of my favorite guests, Mike Parson, of course, our Missouri governor, Andrew Bailey, the current attorney general. I mean, I'm just thinking we've had so many damn guests.
Yeah.
We have people are saying Paul Berry.
Paul got a shot.
There. Yeah, Paul got a shot.
Didn't we have Eric Schmidt on at one time?
Very early on.
And we also, in the old show, we had Tashara and we had Sam Page.
And Kim Gardner.
Yeah.
Man, come on.
I did reach out to Kim to do a post interview here. I have not heard.
Have her do a show.
I tried, but I don't know.
I wonder why.
I don't even know if I don't know if the number works or not because it doesn't show if it was delivered or goes through.
She could do like a little nursing show or something.
Oh my God! If she
a nursing show,
she could do a nursing show.
Oh my God!
How to give?
Early on we had Dr. Khan. He was from Michigan. That guy was amazing. He's a national doctor. He was really big. He got big on Joe Rogan's show.
Yeah,
and then he was canceled because he was actually a doc who came out against the cupcake.
Yeah,
and he's like, oh, I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm going to continue to try to do this stuff. And that's what he's tried to do. Of course, our Clippers and Cops.
Yes.
We've gone into the city. We've gone to those Clippers and Cops meetings.
When he had, and I'll bring this up. We had my son-in-law, Justin Hicks, on when several times.
Justin, of course.
But what was interesting about that is after he was here, when a Democrat was basically calling him all sorts of names, and he just came back with, when she kept saying, how do you identify? And he just said, as an American, we ran all that. And after that, then he ended up on TikToks. He was on Fox. He was on other podcasts. But he came here first.
Oh, how can I forget? Al Watkins,
the
first attorney for the shaman. And we broke that story here when news or videos were released by the J6 committee, or at least we got videos of the shaman being walked around. We did the story here. 3 days later, Tucker Carlson had Al Watkins on. And then the next Monday, the shaman was released from prison.
He's also running for Congress.
I saw that.
He could win.
I don't think he's running as a Republican. I think he's running as a shaman.
As a shaman.
I think he is.
Follow me to Congress.
Oh, wow.
We'll all go together.
There you go.
Hey, Joe, check out this picture I just sent you, bud. This is another guy who we had on. And I guess he looks pretty damn good for 67, but we had him on the show as well. And this is what's really funny about this is because I couldn't see I hope I look this good at 67, but I don't think I would be taking a selfie of myself.
Is there a picture?
It's coming. Joe's taking care of it right now. Let's just say his initials are MM. And he became a worldwide story, lived in St. Louis City, and Kim Gardner really did not like him.
Oh, that's right.
There he is. Mark McCloskey.
That is not real. That's AI.
That's Mark McCloskey.
I think he really is that.
He likes to post a lot of pictures of himself.
I get emails.
Those are different kind of guns than the first guns that we saw him with.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's AI.
Am I the?
Really do.
That's not AI.
How old is Mark?
On his Facebook.
How old is Mark?
67.
Am I the only? And we'll talk to Kelly about this in a second. Am I the only one in this room that thinks it looks odd for an old dude to have an amazing body?
Yes.
Am I the only one?
No, it looks weird to me too.
It does
I'm like, come on.
It looks strange to me. I don't know that I even like it.
Well, I think dad bods are in, Eric.
Chicks dig dad bods.
It's a great
chicks. I'm telling you,
they do. They do.
And I'm first row knowledge of that.
Okay.
Our guy, he's my roadie. His name is Blowjob.
Oh yeah.
Seriously, his name is it's Blowjob, and he's got
balls.
He's got beyond dad.
Here we
bod.
go.
He's like dad bod on crack, and he gets all the chicks.
What is a dad bod on crack?
I'm literally sitting
it's
here.
A major dad bod.
Yes, this is a dad bod that like. It's like it's amplified a little bit.
Amplified. I love it.
It has a little bit of diabetes thrown in there.
Oh my god!
Hey, he gets all the chicks.
Real quick, we got to give a shout out to our advertisers, our partners, our sponsors. We appreciate it, especially all the ones that we've had throughout the year. This being our 1-year anniversary celebration. Amini's in the Chesterfield Valley. Please check out the saunas and the saltwater hot tubs. It's not just a quote. Comfort item anymore. We're talking about your health. We're talking about losing weight, circulation, your heart, all of those issues. Complete auto body repair, the fastest growing auto service in the region. When we say that, we mean it. They're everywhere. Talking about a company with 60 open jobs right now, not only technicians that can work in 7 climate-controlled facilities, but also sales staff, people who can work for the tow truck companies as well. And by the way, when you go to canceltheshow.com and click on our partners page, pretty simple, canceltheshow.com, click on the partners page, you can scroll down, and we've got the links right there for you so that they know you're looking. Of course, our good friends, Kathy Helbig Strick, Steve Strick, with Experience Realty Partners and Score Mortgage. And then, of course, their side company, which is about new age health and wellness. Lizzie has done a fantastic job with that, utilizing their products, getting your blood work checked, making sure you're as healthy as you possibly can be. Ham, Route 66 Cannabis, the national marijuana meeting's going on this weekend in Vegas, Eric. Ham's in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's checking some things out there, looking for new products. The Ostara line as well. You can get the Ostara line at any dispensary across the state, but you can also go to 5 locations for Route 66 here. Solar City STL. If you have any questions about solar, you need to ask right now, especially if you're using a lot of energy. Number 1, you can save a ton of money over time. And 2, you can get off the grid. And we know a lot of issues can be coming. We hear about those things happening. We broadcast live out of the Strategic Air Services premier private transportation facility in the Chesterfield Valley. If you're looking for a flight, and you don't want to deal with TSA, if you want to go separate, if you don't want other people like Kelly, we'll talk, Kelly has a fear of flying, believe it or not. That may be a great thing for you. They're also looking for pilots. WeQuip, I love this O'Fallon, Missouri company. And Kelly, I could see you doing major things.
I could see her doing that too. Yeah, sure.
A peer-to-peer marketplace where renters can go and search for items that they need that their neighbors might have that they don't want to buy, or you can rent something else out yourself. You could rent Eric out. You could rent Kelly out.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
You don't rent people.
You can rent people. She said
we're renting Vic out.
We had Paige Measley on. I will do anything to keep the business going. There you go.
I'm pimping him out now.
You whore.
We talked about our side show. It's Lizzie's Pimp Vic Out show.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it has something to do with the a riding lawnmower, a Speedo, and an American
Dude,
flag.
you would make a fortune.
That's right. Don't you think we could rent him out?
Snow removal in a Speedo.
Yes.
If I knew anything about plumbing, I would be a plumber.
Well, then learn something.
Then you could wear the Speedo, and then he could come and go buy
Wenty's, of course, where we're going to be doing our year party, our anniversary party, holiday party next Thursday night, 7 p.m. at Wenty's. Just incredible food, good time, massive heated patio as well. This is canceltheshow.com. Packed house, Projo in the house, Eric Johnson, Lizzie Sparks, Vic Faust, and our good friend, the social media star, all around great person, comedian, Kelly Nano. Kelly, it's good to see you, my friend.
It's good to see you guys too. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. And you know what? You have spent a lot of time with us this year.
Mm-hmm.
Your hair is beautiful too, by the way.
Yeah, did you mention
so
her?
Pretty.
Was she on the list?
That's why she's sitting here.
Okay, then.
Yeah, she looks so pretty.
Thank you.
She's a quasi host with us because she gives us the time that she has.
The time of day.
And
the time of day. That's right.
And she's the most popular.
For sure. Hands down.
She's in demand.
Yes.
Kelly is going to be talking to us today about relationships and all kinds of things. So how's life? What's going on with you these days? Because I continue to watch your videos. Mm-hmm. You're continuing to pop out great 80s video. I like the one in the car. You posted a video recently about
riding in a car as a kid and how dangerous it was.
Yes.
Oh my God, that is so true.
Nothing like now.
We had a friend that had an El Camino.
We sure did.
And we used to ride in the back of the El Camino 70 miles an hour.
We all had a friend with a car with a big hole in the floorboard, right? And so
it's so true.
It was multifaceted because one, you had something to do. You could watch the street go by. And 2, your dad would be like, throw this out the trash hole.
By the way, you never know who's going to show up. Bill Eigel outside the studio. Now that's what we're doing over here.
I can't see through the glare. Hi, Bill.
I'm kind of coasting. I am coasting to the end of this year.
Yeah.
Happy 1 year anniversary.
Happy 1 year.
Get that on tape.
It's ironic. Bill was, I think he was our first guest.
Very first.
I was.
On the very first day.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
Very
A
first
year
guest.
ago today?
Yes.
Oh, how
a
ironic.
year ago, 2 days ago, but
I feel like this is your life. And
this is your life.
The little duck is going to fall down.
That's right.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, but
Running for governor.
Hey, Bill, just for a second, have you recovered all the abuse you got the other night? Have you recovered
What's that?
from that? Have you recovered from the abuse you got the other night?
What abuse did he get?
Oh, he got a lot of abuse
from
the other
what?
night in St. Charles.
Here, come in real fast, real.
That was from the illegal immigration discussion. Yes, there were. Oh my gosh, that was a total shameful disaster.
Really?
The St. Charles City Council basically voted not to condemn illegal immigration.
Get names.
We've been.
We have names.
Eric,
Okay.
we've talked. Eric,
Wow.
Like I actually didn't understand this whole thing, certainly from a policy perspective, because it was simply a resolution. All it was is just a resolution that just said, "Hey, we're not going to support illegal immigration.
Yeah.
We think what DHS is trying to resettle immigrants that have not been approved by law.
That's true.
To be settled. So they're still technically illegal immigrants. So the resolution just said, hey, we don't support that. And we support the attorney general of our state who's trying to sue the DHS. That's all it said.
and we'll be talking about more night. We have beat this issue to
Yes.
death. All.
Now, I haven't had a chance to beat
This is
issue.
This is our Friday free for all fun
Oh, okay.
show.
Wow.
It's a fun show. It's supposed to be fun for Friday.
I
Yeah.
feel bad because that's no fun dealing with that, Bill. What you're having to deal with over there.
God, that's unbelievable. I
did.
never thought in
I
St.
did.
Charles County
So
that would happen.
It was crazy because I called for, I go up in front of the council and I basically said, hey, I think we should support immigration law in this country because Joe Biden has done nothing to enforce immigration law. And the crowd that was from St. Louis City busted out in laughter. They laughed at me for calling for us to follow immigration law. It was insane.
Bill,
What's
have a good
happening?
weekend, my friend.
All right,
damn it.
I got to get out of here. That was a quick.
I'll
It's
come
the
back.
Happy 1 year anniversary.
I'll come
Happy
back
1
if
year.
you can be here Monday. I'll come back here Monday to rap about that because I want to just.
Yeah, what time do you want me to be here?
I'll come back. I'll come
I'll
back the whole
text you.
show.
I'll text
I'll do
you.
the whole show.
I'll figure it
That's
out.
so important. You know why that? You know what? No, I don't even know where to turn, Kelly. I mean, what's going on with me? That is,
Okay, Bill, Monday.
it's so important
Eric,
because I
Monday.
never thought. I thought St. Charles was free against that stuff.
You would think so, but no, it was really a disappointment. We beat it to death. What, Tuesday? Was it Tuesday? But we do need to talk about it.
It's
again
just
on
so
Monday.
I want you to be
easy.
happy today and laughing.
But we're going to be
That's
happy
what
and
this
laughing,
Friday show
and
is about.
We're going to get happy and laughing. On Monday,
Pro-
you're going to get pissed.
I'm
Pro Joe,
I'm sorry.
Do you have Kelly's video up
There we
yet?
I'm all pent up.
You
That's
let
right.
me know when you
I need
have
a
it.
background.
Well,
Joe will be right in.
so Kelly, we have your video.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the
from
car one?
The cars, and while we're getting the video here, we'll just play it now.
That's my new bedroom, by the way. Isn't it so cute?
Oh, you finished the
you
bedroom.
finished
Uh-huh.
it.
Yeah.
Nice.
We'll check it out in the
I
video
like your
here.
blue
Shit, my
walls.
glasses
Thank
on.
you.
Here we
Of
go.
all the dangerous things we did growing up in the 70s and 80s, the most dangerous was getting in a car with our damn parent. I mean, it was like playing a game of Russian roulette. We had seatbelts. We couldn't use them. We had shit to do. Any given moment, our mom would need both hands to light her cigarette. Hey, take the wheel. Jump over and grab that wheel, and you're going down the freeway, responsible for everyone's car, and you're 8 years old. Everyone at some point had a car with a giant hole in the floorboard.
Right.
This hole was multifunction. One, it gave you something to do. You could watch the street go by underneath your feet, and number two, it was a perfect trash hole. Your parents would pick up a
Kelly
random ass hitchhiker
Mano.
and put him in the back seat. Sometimes they took your spot and you'd have to sit on the middle hump. Let me explain the dangers of sitting in the middle hump. You had nothing to hold on to.
Nope.
And mom hits a bump. Your ass is going into the ceiling and then straight down to the floor.
Yes.
They fell out of moving cars all the time. Back then, our parents drove these big, hoopty, like long, heavy cars with long, heavy doors. Get in as a kid and you try to shut that thing, it wouldn't shut all the way sometimes. We didn't have alerts, tell us if like a door is open. We would have no idea. Mom would take a turn just a little too sharp. And if you even put like 1 pound of body weight on that door, out your ass would go. Put that shit in reverse. Like,
Oh.
the hell's wrong with you? Stay in your damn seat. It was also very normal for your mom to hit you with the car. Your mom was paying no attention to where you walked, or what you were doing. Right when you walked in front of her car, and just plow you over, and then roll down the window, and yell at you. You shouldn't be standing in front of the car.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yep.
this is how I get in the school, Mom. My parents hated us so much. Oh my God.
Yeah, my
And now, like, it blows my mind. Cars are so safe. You have backup cameras and blind spot sensors that beep, 17 airbags, and you keep your kid facing the back window till he hits fucking puberty. We just wanted a seatbelt.
Yeah, that was a great one, Kelly.
Thank you.
It brings back memories.
Well, there was two. I couldn't fit everything in. I really wanted to talk about how they would like hotbox us with cigarette smoke because Mom would not roll down the window because she didn't want to mess up her hair. Yeah. And like back then, smoking was so like prevalent. The cars came with a lighter and ashtray like attached to the car.
It was a big deal.
And so you would be like one of those guppy fishes, like trying to breathe, or going like this, covering your mouth, trying to like filter the smoke. So that's why when people say like, "Oh, don't eat this, you're gonna get cancer," I'm like, "Shit, I'm already halfway there." Like the secondhand smoke that we grew up with. But so
that was a great segment. And Greg says he wanted to add something else to your list. If you ever do it again, he said he grew up riding in the suicide seat that faced backwards.
Yes.
In a green Ford Country Squire station.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I did too. I loved it.
Oh, sitting backwards was awesome.
Wait a minute.
That was the bestest.
Remember the bouncy bucket or bench seat in the front of the trucks?
Yes.
And you would sit, and there would be four people, and you had to do the stick shift with all that. That was a death trap, man.
It was so fun.
But I look back, like I could drive a stick shift, smoke a cigarette, change my CDs, like,
and you had to roll it down like that.
Because you're an East Side girl.
Like, girl,
you could do a lot more too, I'm sure.
Probably. Yes. I'm a good multitasker.
My dad stuck me in the back of a pickup truck from St. Louis to Columbia, Missouri one time.
Oh my God.
And it rained. Okay.
Yeah.
Back to the show.
Funny.
Kelly Mano, you can catch her on all social media platforms under her name, Kelly Mano, and she is rocking and rolling. I don't know. I don't know if I know a more popular person than you. And we always say this.
You're too nice to me.
No, but you seriously, I don't
think we do.
I don't
think we do.
I don't think, like, honestly, like, I think in like literal number speakings, I don't think there's anyone in St. Louis that has more followers than me. If they do, I'd love to meet them. I don't think so.
No, and here's the thing. If you ever wanted to do it, and I brought his name up before, and I know you like Matt Rife.
Stand up. I know. I get offered to do stand up all the time.
But here's the thing about Matt Rife, and I just saw this a couple of weeks ago because it was TikTok that blew him up out of nowhere. Just in this calendar year, said for 11 years he was making about $40,000 a year.
Okay. Yeah, I know his whole story.
Last year, he made over $20 million.
So what was the jump?
You're saying there's a chance.
So what was the turbo overdrive?
It was one random video. He would post little clips from his comedy shows. And there was one clip called like Lazy Hero that just exploded. And then people saw that. They started watching his old stuff. And also his rise from, dorky kid with like messed up teeth. Like he jokes about how puberty hit him like disrespectfully late in life. And now he's super hot. And he's like, this is not good for comedy. Like I didn't plan on this.
I don't think you have to do it.
But he has a brain, Eric, and he plays with the audience.
When you said Kelly Mano, comedian, it's like saying DC Chimes comedian. We both know DC. He's not a comedian, but he knows how to tell funny stories. That's what I think you
Kelly's
could do.
Way funny.
I know. You could do that.
And no
the funny bone.
DC.
I know, but
but it wouldn't be like, hey, what, how many chickens does it take to? No, yours would be just these funny stories.
I know, but I literally turned down America's Got Talent. They wanted me to come on and do stand up, and I told them no because I'm not ready for that in my life yet. Because if you do stand up, you have to tour.
Eric, it could be at some point in time.
Like, I'd be by myself all the time. That would be miserable.
You could do... I'm just trying to be your manager now.
For God's sakes.
And
you could do... I've been to the Funny Bone, and you are much funnier than them. But all you have to do is go with a cigarette in your hand and a drink in this one, kind of like Dean Martin. And you walk out and you go... You remember when there were holes in car floors?
Yes.
And then you just go.
I could do stand up with my eyes closed. Yeah. I have no doubts in my ability to do it. I just don't want to now.
But now you
it's
help
so much
us.
fun. It's
yeah,
so
but
much
you're
fun.
helping us with other issues now.
Yes.
Dating. And you're going through dating.
I'm not really going through dating, but I'm close to going through dating.
Because I asked you what you wanted to talk about, like advice, and you said like pet peeves.
Well, we had like last time I was on here, we were talking about. I think me and Lizzie got in like a tangent, like we're like ripping on men, and you said, "Well, next show we're going to talk about what women want." And
here we go.
And so I
we go.
I did.
Wait. So you got divorced.
Yeah.
you came in here and you said, I don't even need to be with nobody. I'm cool.
I don't need a man.
Remember that?
I don't.
You go, I don't need nobody. And they're like, I can be friends with my ex and he can go date whoever he wants. Are you starting to go over the line where you're like, well, if I was going to date?
No way.
Are you kind of edgy? Because humans like to be with humans. Are you getting to that threshold where you're like,
Maybe
no, I'm not going to date, but if I was going to
like
date.
people are starting to be like, hey, I've got this brother-in-law,
There you
like
go.
kind of thing. And I was thinking more like maybe like in the spring, like I'm not in a hurry, don't need anybody. And right now anybody I would date would take time away from my kids and what I'm doing for myself, the weight loss and all that stuff. So I would be a horrible girlfriend right now. I don't have time for anybody. So I just think, no, I'm good for a while.
But you're known. You're known. So guys are going to reach out to you whether you want their attention or not.
True story.
That's why I brought up the pet peeves and icks and yucks and oohs and grosses.
Yes.
You have those?
I do have some. So basically what we called pet peeves, kids nowadays call icks. Like what is the thing that your spouse does that just makes you go like,
an
like,
ick.
Like ick. Like
now you're talking about your ex-husband or just
No. None of this is going to be like related to Jimmy. If it is,
poor Jimmy alone.
Poor Jimmy. No, Jimmy's great. He's no worries, but he does kind of fit into this first category because my pet peeve and my ick is bad drivers. If you are my boyfriend or you are my husband and you are driving like an asshole with me in the car, that is disrespectful because you are like people die in car accidents every day.
Right.
And I don't know. I love a guy who like doesn't speed. Like I just feel comfortable with him. I don't have to worry about anything, but men just want to speed. And then they bring all this chaotic energy and they got road rage and just no. Yeah. Like, so bad drivers is my number one ick.
I guess I'm the devil's advocate for the dudes and Vic.
And Vic. The dudes and Vic.
Isn't it healthier to go, how many wrecks have you gotten in your life? And if he says, I've gotten in no wrecks, you can check my insurance, whatever you want. I've been driving like this since I was a wee tot. Isn't that fair to say you're coming into his environment? No. So he has to change his way of living for that 10-minute drive?
You are his passenger. So you are in charge for everyone in your car. So it is your job to follow the laws and the speed limits and not make her like, I don't know.
Eric, I agree.
Yeah.
You're coming into his world. You're melding together. If he comes into your world, he might see something that I don't like asparagus. I wish you would stop cooking asparagus.
Kelly, have you thought of an older man? Derek says maybe you need an older man, like a mid 50s, 60s.
You know what's hilarious is that when I see these guys or someone's like, hey, this guy's cute. I'm like, oh my God, he's so old. And I'm like, oh shit, he's my age. No, I'm not. I'm not really attracted to older guys. If anything, I'm a little bit attracted to younger guys. And I mean younger. Now. I mean younger as in like
you're a Sex in the City kind of chick, I think.
I'm not like a cougar. I'm talking like, in their 30s.
Well,
but
you got your Sex in the City haircut now too.
I guess.
I know, she's got
well, here's the thing. It just depends on the girl you're
ready. She's getting warmed up.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I'm out, guys. But if I was to meet someone now, I get it. Yeah.
So
that's cool.
For me, that's my ick. So you guys don't have to worry about your driving because you guys aren't going to date me. But if I date someone,
you two are off limits to her.
Yes.
Don't even think about it, boys.
It's cool. So stupid, but
Francis Howell Cougar.
Yeah. Stop.
Damn, think about it. From the date number one, if he picks her up and screws up anyway on the drive, you're done.
She's calling him out, boy.
That's
be prepared.
Okay.
I was spoiled. I dated a pilot for like 2 years in college, and he was very much like about his passenger, and like it was just so easy. I could fall asleep when we were on a road trip and not worry that he was going to kill us. I mean, like
because pilots, they're instructed to tell them how to put the seatbelt on in the plane,
and just making sure they're comfortable. You're not slamming on the brakes, and it's just the quickest way to like.
Okay, that's fair.
To anger me is like we're having a great day and you're slamming on the brakes and you're flipping off a guy and all this chaotic energy when it's like, shit, we're just trying to go to like Piggly Wiggly, like calm the fuck down.
In Georgia.
Piggly Wiggly. God forbid you go to Piggly Wiggly.
All right, so this is potentially, okay, he's in the car, he's screwed up, he's not a good driver. How many points, if he has 100 points in his kitty, how many points come off because he's a bad driver? 5 points, 20 points, he's done.
I don't know. I mean, pretty much I'm just driving. Like that.
From now on, you're
We've
driving.
only gotten to the first ick.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's rock and roll these icks.
We've got so many more. Another ick that I put on here is when you need them to like do something around the house, like you know, and they purposely do it bad so that they don't have to keep doing it.
Men do that?
Or
Wait a minute, I got to think about that.
they will start asking so many questions about the one thing that you asked them to do that they know you're going to go, you know what? Just let me do it. Just let me do it. Just let me do it.
Wait.
That's a thing. That is a thing.
That's a thing.
That's
okay.
That
Stop.
is such a thing.
Hold on.
Guys.
This
that's
is
like
important.
playing dumb.
It's not, Vic. That is unfair. Because I have been scolded by every girlfriend I've ever had because I'm the kind of person that just takes the entire load of laundry in the closet and dump the whole thing in. And they're like, what are you doing?
No.
There are reds in there. There's whites.
Even I do 2 colors. 2 colors.
I don't know any better.
Oh, I don't care.
I'm not trying to do it to make someone mad. This is how I
do
it.
It could be something as simple as like, hey, I need you to change this doorknob on this door.
That's not
easy. And then he's like, well, I don't. Yes, it is. I can change a doorknob.
It's not easy. The doorknob can be ajar. It doesn't shut anymore.
Oh my God.
Look, I'm the kind
you two would kill each other in 10 minutes.
Murder.
I have not owned a lawnmower
We'd be on Dateline
in 30 years.
Why haven't you owned a lawnmower in 30 years?
I haven't. Because I call somebody
to do it.
It gets done.
Do you live on like acres or something?
I sometimes do. Yes.
Sometimes.
And
he lives a very interesting life.
Yes.
So
he has lots
also,
of properties.
And when you're talking about the doorknob, I've tried. And one time I couldn't get the little brass thing in, and I let it live there for years, and the door never shut.
Christy said you're not allowed to do laundry anymore.
And it was not my fault.
Exactly, Christy.
What is wrong?
What's number 2?
That was number 3.
Or number 3.
Rude to people in the service industry, like waiters, waitresses. Yes. I've never had any
guys do that on a date.
Yes. Apparently so. I had so many people.
Kelly's dead on that one.
Yeah, I agree.
Dead on.
I think we all agree.
If anybody's worked in the service industry, you are not
because that's how you'll treat.
Because you know how
that's
it
exactly
feels.
Right.
Right.
That's exactly right. Yeah. If somebody accidentally brings you out the wrong drink and you have a complete meltdown, just stop it already. That is embarrassing.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never been with somebody who's done that. So, but a lot of people answered it. A lot of people also said that they hate their big ick with the guys as baby talk. And I 100.
What's baby talk?
Like when he's like, oh, baby, like, hey, like whenever like he just starts talking like baby talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you not like that? You want a man?
Yeah, I want to
be a man.
What's up?
Dude, she likes Bosa, man.
So
were you here when we showed the pictures of Bosa in the underwear?
Yeah, but maybe Bosa talks baby talk. Hey,
yeah,
how you doing?
How you doing, Kelly? You sweet little thing.
I'm gonna block your ass into the ground.
So, like,
oh my God.
The next one, these all go together.
Scores. Yeah.
I'm going to read these all because this is the one where the women just came out swinging.
Here we go.
All right. So
wait a minute. You did a poll?
Yeah.
Oh, you rock.
She's got an audience.
I've got So the number one complaint from women about their husbands
here we go.
is bad hygiene. And it comes from
bad breath.
1, putting his nasty feet on me, chewing and slurping too much, too many toenails, or clipping his toenails in the bed. He farts just like my dad and gets a turn off. He sniffs up snot when he's eating. He sneezes too loud. It's not normal. He chews like a cow. I want to slap him every day. He takes a shit with the bathroom open. He doesn't flush the toilet all the way. He sucks the water out of his toothbrush after he rinses every morning, and he hawks loogies in the sink and doesn't wash it down. You men are disgusting.
Wow. The one that gets me the most out of that whole list is he farts just like my dad.
Yeah.
I don't.
What?
So I don't think men understand, like, when your wife is like, don't do that, that's gross. Like, she really means that is gross.
Okay. First of all, that goes both ways. Okay?
You bet it does, because women are disgusting.
This is a human thing. This isn't a chick versus guy thing, because women...
women are... No, men are way gross.
No, my experience with women has been awesome from a hygiene standpoint.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nobody's been gross and disgusting.
Really?
Yeah, like
you didn't live in Seattle very long, did you?
No, I would not date in Seattle.
Okay. So here's the thing. We're not your
and
locker
I'm
room.
happy now.
We're not your locker room buddy. Okay. We don't want to have a farting contest with you. Like a well-placed.
Yeah, I get that.
A well-placed fart could be really funny in a relationship, right? I'm not saying like you never fart in front of each other.
It has to be well placed, though.
Okay. But if you're just like ripping ass like all the time, and then
and certainly don't take a blanket and put it over their head, and then you're stuck in there with the fart.
Oh my God, you've been Dutch ovened?
My husband did it on our honeymoon.
Oh, Dave.
Yes.
That is a good way to break the ice, by
That's
the way.
literally
And
what
look,
he
you've been together
did.
for 40 years.
Well, yeah, literally. I mean, he literally did that.
I would think a Dutch oven would be kind of funny. I think
Well, I
that's
didn't at the time. I did that.
but the way that you, the way we can hear you in the shower, like hawking up spit, and like it's so like, how do you expect us to stay attracted to you when you're coming out like?
Do men know this?
A mouth.
Have they told their men this? Because men need to hear this.
I think they say like, that's gross, don't do that. And the guys think that they're not serious because they don't like yell at them for it, but they say like, please stop clipping your toenails on our bed.
Everything you're saying is fair.
Yeah.
Everything you're saying is
you
fair.
just have to remember that your wife needs to stay attracted to you.
Yeah.
And if you're walking around dragging your knuckles and breathing through your mouth and hawking loogies, and it's freaking disgusting. And this
that's a two-way street though, too.
Yes.
Female. Yeah, we were talking a little bit about it.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want, and this is why I will die on this hill. And this we can talk about a little bit later if you want, or now. Is that men and women, once you've been married, this does not apply to newlyweds, so just shut up if you're newlywed. If you've been married a couple of years or longer, separate bedrooms is the 100% key to a happy marriage.
Seriously?
Oh, I thought she was going to go the other
100%.
way. I thought she was going
Swinger
the other
talk.
That's the. I thought when you said different bed, I think you're going. That's death.
I will never ever live with someone again and not have my own bedroom ever.
It's called a basement.
My brother and sister-in-law.
Do they do that
Yeah.
too? I'm all for separate bathrooms if you had the money.
This is not 1954. My God, this is.
Poor Donna says her husband fell asleep on her wedding night.
Oh, yeah. Well, but think about it. If you have the separate bedrooms, then you have your own space to clip your toenails and hawk your loogies and all of that stuff. And it's not about sex, because a lot of the people who chimed in were like, my husband and I got separate bedrooms like 15 years ago and we've never been happier. It's not about sex. It's about rest. She's like, if anything, we have more sex because we're both rested.
You got to be rested. A woman has, guys, I'm going to tell you, I was married for 15, 16 years.
Okay.
A woman needs to feel appreciated.
Yes.
She needs her sleep. And most of the time, a back rub or a foot rub will go miles in accomplishing what you're trying to accomplish.
Let us sleep, people. Let us sleep.
Those three things.
But I just think about it like how unhealthy everyone's sleeping habits are because their husbands are snoring or they're scratching their toenails. And it doesn't mean you can never stay in each other's rooms. I mean, it could be like, hey, I'm coming to your place tonight down the hall, you know. But then,
if you're in different rooms, I mean, how does that work? Do you have to schedule time to sleep together?
No, it happens natural.
Well,
it happens natural.
Well, if you start scheduling stuff, that could be an issue.
Okay,
because
but
a woman is not
You
on
gotta
a
put a
schedule either.
calendar
I've
together.
learned that.
well,
3 o'clock. Let's go.
I have a different outlook on that. We can go there if you want, but I'm just telling you right now, separate bedrooms will save marriages. And if it's not completely separate bedrooms, it's like you have a man cave with a couch where you can like go for like long periods of time.
Hey, baby,
because
welcome to my man cave.
you know,
Man cave.
sometimes I just don't want to be around people anymore. And I want to be scrolling on my phone and people are coming in and they're out and they're asking me questions.
Yeah.
Hey, you've
Separate
also given
bedrooms.
appreciation. A woman said, you know what? This whole talk is giving me a new appreciation for my husband. Because she may have thought that he wasn't that great. Now she hears what other guys are doing.
Yeah.
Damn, that grass
I'm
is
gonna
not greener on the other side of the
I
fence.
agree with what you just said. I will say this: laughter in a relationship is 100% the cure to all of these problems. If you can be with someone and all of a sudden you just out of nowhere just start laughing and having fun, then the clothes on the bathroom floor, they kind of vanish. The kid stuff kind of vanish. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, you are.
I agree. 100%.
100%.
But not laugh when you take off your clothes.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I definitely don't laugh when the woman takes off her clothes.
So Kelly, have you heard of the new game called Guess My Fart? You don't play this with like
Guess my fart.
He's Jill on that.
Joe.
No, I'm serious.
Oh
There is
God.
a new I swear. Hold on. There's a new thing that people are doing on social media. They're playing this game with their significant others called Guess My Fart.
Oh my God.
And what are you guessing about?
You guess what it's going to sound like.
That's like those fart machines.
No. I am not having sex with you. And
I just saw it the other day, and her
Joe,
fart.
you've gone down some weird roads before.
This is.
That's a bad
That's the
road.
first thing.
How many joints have you had this morning?
None. That's probably the
okay.
problem.
All right, I get
That's
it.
probably the problem.
Like I said, I'm not a prude. A well-timed fart can be funny. Like, I don't expect you to be in a relationship and never fart in front of each other, but don't treat her like your locker room buddy. You need to remember that she needs to stay attracted to you.
Yeah.
You know, and vice versa.
There's some legitimate things that you've said. Now let's get to the positives.
Oh, there's not really any. Oh, wait.
There's not really any.
We do have a video Kelly wanted us to run, so you let us know when you want to run that
Which
video.
one? Well, is it the black guy?
Yeah, the black
laying
guy
in the bed. Okay, so this is for dating. This is not necessarily for
Pro Joe, when you get a chance, pop up that video, man.
Yeah. So a lot like people who date now, what
Kelly's
I hear
video.
over and over and over again from people is that they don't know how the other person feels about them. They have to wonder. They have to guess.
That's huge.
They don't
That
text
is
back
so
because
true.
somewhere we started telling each other that if you show yourself to that person and tell them like, hey, I'm really attracted to you, that suddenly they'll be like, oh, you're too easy. And it's like, no, you need to communicate.
Yes.
And this, so I saw this guy.
This is the real me.
I saw this guy's TikTok, and this is, if you're in the dating world,
Yeah.
I think this is important, what he says.
Motherfucker be like, what you looking for in a relationship? Obsession? I ain't looking for none but obsession. I need you to be obsessed with me, and I ain't going for nothing less. You can expect double text. I'm going to check up on you, ask you if you ate. I'm going to see how you doing today. I'm going to ask you if you having a good morning. I'm going to ask you if you having a good day at work. Yes, I expect to hear from you every day, and I want to see you a lot. Doing none of that half-ass shit. If you mine, you mine. And I'm standing on that, and I'm claiming what's mine. I want to be around my person 24/7. Well, maybe not 24/7, but a lot.
But a lot.
But it
Well said.
I like
Standing
his
on
headboard
business.
design.
I think that if you like each other and the feeling is mutual and it's kind of new, like we don't have to go that slow. Like shit, put me in your family group chat.
Yeah.
You know, like, but like, I don't know. I just think, I mean, maybe obsession is like a strong word, but nobody wants to guess how you feel about them.
Yeah.
That's and I saw a quote once that said like,
especially when you're in a relationship
yes.
too.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%. Because they said, if you don't know how he feels about you, he doesn't like you. But
Uh-huh.
yeah.
I agree with that.
But if he wanted to,
Uh-huh.
like he would. And so it's just like if I start dating somebody and we're only like a weekend, but we really like each other, I would be a stage 5 cleaner. Like I don't care. There's no reason to like pretend like you don't like the other one
Correct.
because you're scared. You know,
Mhm.
I think it's just the
I think
easiest
it
way
has
to
to
do
be
it.
organic. I
Sure.
think you can't preemptively. You can't if your girlfriend or your boyfriend says, "I need you to do this," that is a kiss of death. I don't need you to tell me what you need me to do. I'm
Mhm.
especially people in our age group. Maybe if you're 18, okay,
Right.
maybe it's a learning experience. But in our age group, there's no I need you to do anything. You either are with me before because you like being with me,
Right.
or we're not going to be together.
But
Mhm.
there's some compromise to be made there. Like you,
No, a demand. I'm talking about demand. You wouldn't want to
Oh.
be with a guy that says, I need you to scale back TikTok a little bit if you love me.
yeah, no,
That's a kiss of death, right?
Yeah.
And that's over the top kiss of death.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But you cannot be with, and I do agree with that. I need to know if you actually like me.
Yeah.
Conversation and laughter are two like the
Yes,
biggest
I
things.
They
agree.
are.
And
Laughter is
especially-
huge.
But if doubt creeps in, that can be an issue.
Oh yeah.
I tell girls all the time, even like my daughters and her friends, like men, they're insecure just like everyone else. They have a fear of rejection. So
Of course we do.
if you like somebody, whether you're 16 years old or you're on a dating app, the girl should just say, I really like you and I would love to spend more time with you. And then the ball's in his court.
Correct.
Don't make him wonder. Tell him, I like you. I want to get to know you better. Ball's in your
This
court.
is such a 2023 thing because
Yeah.
back when I was in high school, our next door neighbors were this couple. They had to be in their 60s. They were together for 30, 45, 50, whatever years. They neither one of them talked to each other. The guy
Yeah.
sat in the chair. This is an 80s thing. Sat in the chair watching Matlock or whatever. The woman would make dinner. She wouldn't say anything. And you would go in there and it was just creepy, but they loved it. That was their life.
Yeah.
That was
What about-
a different thing.
But that
What about
works for them.
direct-
That was
don't-
kind of like my in-laws. They
Yeah.
were the same way.
Direct answers are good too, aren't they?
Yeah. No.
Hey, do you still want this or not?
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
well, you're here at my house, right?
Yeah.
I'm like,
And-
no, but you didn't say yes.
So here's a great thing. So if you've been in a relationship
Is
for
that fine to hear? Well, you're at my house, aren't you?
What does
no,
that- what does
no,
that
no,
mean?
that's not okay. But
Yeah,
what
what does that
what
even
is
mean?
okay is that checking in with your partner and knowing like what capacity are you at today? Like, are you just already drained by 2:00? I need to know that because then I'm not going to be
Yes.
offended by,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? Like there's a great theory called the spoon theory. And like Jimmy and I used it all the time where every morning you wake up, you have so many spoons. One day you've got 7, one day you've got 20. It just depends on how you feel and how you slept. And everything you do that day takes a spoon. So
Oh.
I brushed my
That makes
teeth.
sense.
That took a spoon. I went to work. That took a spoon. I made a business call. And when you run out of spoons, I always say, I'm out of spoons. Like I'm going to the bed for the night. Like I don't want to be bothered. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with saying I'm in a bad mood for really no reason. Like,
but you just can't help it.
Like, yeah, like it's just like, I don't know, like my clothes don't fit weird today. And like, I can hear this and it's bothering me. It is okay to say I'm in a bad mood. It has nothing to do with you. And I need my space tonight.
Yeah.
And so that, Vic, I think what you're saying is like, if somebody's saying to you like, well, I'm here, aren't I? You're not in a full capacity that day. And if that's something that hurts your feelings, then you need to tell them, I only want you here on the days that you can be like full capacity for me.
Yeah.
And if there's days where you can't, I get it.
Yeah.
But take that back with you. Only come to me when you can give me all of you, you know?
Yeah. And I think if somebody says, do you like me? And then they say to you, well, you're at my house, don't you? That's probably a positive way of saying I wouldn't even have
No,
you
it's
here.
not.
You don't think so?
See, I don't know, because that's at any age.
No.
I've heard that all around.
I'm so.
It's I think people are just weird because of. Do you even I see what you're saying.
It's answering a question with a question,
It's
and
like,
you shouldn't do that.
Okay.
Do you even like me? It's somebody reaching out to another person going, do you even like me? And
then
you're at my house, aren't you? That is not an answer.
No, that is a deflection, 100%.
It means nothing. It means nothing. Then
do you like me? Yes, of course I like you. Then you can say, look, I'm here at your house. But no, you have to say the words like, I like you.
I think you also have to say, I have a problem with this.
Yeah.
This is what I'm having. I'm struggling with.
Yes.
I'm struggling as a person. And I would like, if you watch this. If you care enough about me to help me with this problem, we can work through it together. If you don't care about, you'll forget about it and I will continue with this problem.
Yeah.
You brought up the word communication. I read an article, I don't know, a couple of years ago, it was over 90% of relationships are the ones that do end because of lack of communication or one person not understanding what's going on.
Yeah.
Yes.
And another thing that I think is really big is that not everything has to be solved in one day. So we somehow along the way gain this mentality that you can never go to bed without like solving an argument. You can never go to bed angry because they might die in their sleep or something random like that. No, sometimes I need a break and I need to sleep on this. I love you. I'm still angry and I'm not going anywhere, but I can't talk about this anymore today. Like after 10 p.m., like I can't talk about anything important. I need to sleep on it.
Yes.
Is it fair to say?
So
is it fair to say that some to most of the fights that a couple have are so meaningless?
Because you're tired.
Well, most are.
Like I always say, I don't mind having a fight with you, but I don't want to fight about stupid crap. And I know it's not stupid to you, but can we ever have a fight about something substantive?
And do you know why you fight about little things? Because you're both exhausted, because you're not getting good sleep. You don't have your own space in the house.
Yes.
I mean, like I need my own space to like be a slob and be like, I'm messy. I'm a messy person. Like in general, I need a room to be messy in.
Yeah.
And so I can keep the kitchen clean and I can keep the living room clean, but give me my mess. I have ADD. And so then like, it's just, you're tired, you're grumpy, lack of sleep, separate bedrooms.
Is it possible to say like, I'm tired, grumpy, we're having a bad night, we'll fix this tomorrow by going to Topgolf and offsetting it?
Sure. Like, I don't believe the thing of like, you can't go to bed mad, because I think that that's just unrealistic.
Well, because the fights will escalate. I was told that early on in our marriage. So we would stay up when we were young in our early 20s and fight and fight and fight and fight.
Yeah.
It would be 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, I'm still really mad at you.
Yeah.
Like, and people would tell me. And so when I finally got my own brain and said, I don't like you right now. I just don't. And I'm going to start saying things that I mean now, but I might not mean it 2 days from now. So just let me go to bed. By the next morning, I'm probably not even mad about it anymore.
Right. Like a lot of times I'll have clarity the next morning, or I'll feel a little bit different about it.
Me too.
And I'm like, if you keep pushing me right now, like you're not going to get a good version of me, but let's talk about it tomorrow. Let's set time aside. So that was another one. As far as, what to do to help the marriage, somebody brought this up, and I think that it is brilliant. She has a Google Calendar with her husband, obviously, but also she has on there like the 1 or 2 things she needs him to do that day. So she can say, Emma's got volleyball at 7. I'm going to take her. When you get home tonight, if you could just load the dishwasher and check on the ice machine because it's broken. And then he knows exactly what she needs from him that night. And he can do it. He can't say he forgot. He can't say she didn't tell him. So she said, if you share a Google Calendar and put on there like the things you need him to do.
Yeah.
You know, and the same thing if he needs a button sewn on his shirt or something. That way your expectations of that day for that person are just laid out there. I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah, for people who live together and or are married.
If there's so are you saying that if one person is doing more or accomplishing more, that over time resentment will build up saying, I'm pulling the train here.
Of course.
No matter how you feel about that person, you're like, when I come home, I know that I've done more for this relationship.
So that will lead me into what I think is the number one killer of all marriages.
Here we go.
Number one killer of all marriages is that you get married and you marry this guy who's like on top of his stuff and then he just morphs into another kid for you to take care of. He does. He morphs into another kid. He starts like sinking into the couch and not really like, you know, letting you do whatever you want. And then it's like, well, she makes all the decisions. She wears the pants. And the more he does that, the less he does. And then it's like, damn it. Like, you're just another kid for me to take care of. Get your ass up. Help me with this house. Help me with these kids. And that's not sexy. When you morph into like another kid that she has to take care of.
Yeah.
It's over.
I get it.
It is over.
You got to be the man.
There's a lot.
You have to be the man.
Yep. You do have to be the
men need to provide leadership in the family. And that doesn't mean that you can't have an outspoken wife that's, you know, makes most of the decisions, but there still has to be some kind of masculine energy there
100%.
to make her feel feminine. She doesn't want to be the masculine one in the house.
No,
she does not want to.
Yeah.
I promise you she doesn't want to. She wants somebody who can make her feel feminine.
Is this hitting home, Eric?
What, is it hitting home for you?
But you are spot on.
Dude, that's funny.
That happens. The men will morph into this extra kid for you, and you don't want that. So I find my husband absolutely the most attractive when he's in the leader in the household. Still
100%.
Jammer on and stuff like that. But when there is something big or there's a crisis, it used to be they looked to me. But when we change that and they look to their dad, life is so much easier.
So
Lizzie,
hot.
go to
so
the
hot.
bedroom.
Let me bring this up. So you got divorced. You're still amicable. Beyond amicable, you're still living together.
Like best friends.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Cray.
You haven't brought up romance at all in any of this because you're bringing up the tactical stuff, the day-to-day. You sound like you and your husband are like, we could still be married, except
ex-husband.
Is there something in the bedroom that is like, and I don't mean to be personal, because that to a lot of relationships is like, I'm just not getting it no more.
You know, so I'm not.
I like them fine. I like them just.
The sex part is why it separates.
I know, but we haven't talked about that at all.
The connection.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not going to talk about anything personal,
No,
but
you don't
I
have to.
do have very strong views on this, and you have to listen.
Here we go.
Put on your listening ears.
Yeah.
Okay. Intimacy and sex are two different things.
Okay.
Boom.
Okay. So if you're in the kitchen and your boyfriend comes up behind you and he wraps his arm around you and he kisses you on the neck and he tells you he loves you, and then he continues with what he's doing and goes out and does his yard work, that is intimacy.
Yeah.
Now, if that
agree.
Now, if you come in the kitchen and you put your arms around her and you kiss her neck and you're like, let's do it on the kitchen floor, that's sex.
Wait a minute.
Wait. No, you wait a minute.
Okay.
Okay. Because if she thinks every time you come and wrap your arms around her and kiss her on the neck that you're going to expect sex, she's going to bristle up.
Yeah.
And be like, I can't. But if she knows that you're just intimate with her at various times during the day, she can sink into that and know that she's not going to have to like drop trowel right there. And, you know, because women have shit to do.
Yeah.
And a lot of women believe like
spot on.
A lot of women don't want to be spontaneous when it comes to sex.
Okay.
And so
true.
So same thing with like, okay, if you guys are going to watch a movie, right? And you're going to spoon and you're going to hold her. If every time you're poking her in the butt with your boner,
guilty.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
So but if you do it every time,
that's true though. What you're saying is true.
So snuggling and watching a movie and not having sex is intimacy.
There you go.
Correct.
But when snuggling and watching a movie ends in sex, it's not intimacy anymore. It's sex.
Yeah.
So if you expect sex every single time you guys spoon, just because you press your boner up against her, then she's not going to want to spoon with you anymore because she's not in the mood. But if you give her intimacy on a regular basis that does not follow up with sex, then she's going to just relax like 1,000%.
Are you at all interested in going out to lunch with Lizzie and saying, how have you guys been together for 40 years and make it work?
It's 40 years already?
Well, we've been married 30. He's right. We've been married 35 and we were together 6 years.
When I was
prior
going to
that.
my high school homecoming game,
Did you get married at 15?
I saw her
22.
I saw her and her husband outside of a house. Think about how long ago that was.
Yeah,
When I went
that
to
was
my
a long time ago.
homecoming game.
Yeah.
Lizzie was right there outside of her house, getting ready to go to the same homecoming game, I believe.
Yep.
And I always want to go to dinner with those kind of people.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot of opinions. They just stay together.
Lizzie, do you have like some secret that we don't know about?
Good question.
I do. And a lot of what you said is spot on. It was anytime that I found that my husband put too much on me, that even because I am very assertive and I am a leader, but he would bow down to that and like go away, we would have difficulty in our marriage. But when he would be the man, still let me do all the stuff that I'm doing, but be like, hey, can I help you with something? Hey, let me go take the kids. Hey, let me do this. His life is wonderful. And it's because I'm not as stressed. I want a real man.
Yes.
And we communicate incessantly. And he takes it well. If I go, honey, I'm just a bitch right now. I don't feel good. Could you please
It
go
has
in the
nothing to
other
do with
room
you.
and do your thing? And we sleep in the same room, but he definitely has, and we share an office too, but he's in there more. We often are not in the same room if we're crabby or we need space or whatever. But I agree with a lot of what you said is that a true, strong woman, they want a man. They want a man. And I do say to my husband, and he doesn't always do it, but I would be like, honey, it's really important to me that you fix this and this. Because he knows I can't do it. I'm not you. I can't get on one of those forklifts. So if he does it, now if he doesn't do it right away, I've also learned that I have to give him slack. Maybe he just didn't want to that
Look
day.
at this level
or whatever.
this level of
It's going back and forth.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to soak it up.
This is what I'm talking about. 40 years of knowledge baked into this level of granularization.
Yeah. And
It's
it took
the
us a
key.
while to get there. And you said the best thing. And David even popped up on the chat line, laughter. We can
It's the key.
have,
It's the key.
It's the key. I've had a stroke before. I've done stuff. And when I had a stroke, I was kind of mean in there a little, apparently. And he literally would try to make funny and call me names, but I found it funny. When I would act like a bitch, he would go, shut up, stroke face. And for whatever reason, that made me laugh.
I love it. No, I get it. I get
it. It made me laugh.
Do not try that at home, man.
Yeah, but I know
I'm
that he
giving you a
genuinely
warning.
loved me despite the fact my face was like this
Right.
and all this. He had enough with my bitching and he was doing everything already. He had all the kids. He was driving and I just sat there with my face all ugly. And he finally told me like that.
That's such a great story.
And he was so
Because
funny.
If you can't find laughter,
Yes.
if you
Gotta
can't find
laugh.
that, you might as well please pack your bags.
Yeah.
Leave
Yeah.
nice.
You've
and
got to be able
quiet.
to. You're
Gotta
right.
have
Because
laughter.
if you don't have that conversation and laughter in a relationship, you'll find it with someone else. It ain't happening here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to have it.
I'll be here all week. Don't forget to
Yeah,
give your
both
bartenders
of
a
what
week.
you guys are saying is spot on. And another thing is tolerance of some of the stuff they do. Because there's a lot of things my husband does that I cannot stand. Like when he chooses cereal.
Oh,
I'm
that
like-
was on my list like 40 times.
And so I leave the room because I used to say something like, David, but I'm like, that wasn't attractive of me to do that either.
what is his pet peeve with you that he has said?
Oh, he's got a lot, but you know what? He's smart. He doesn't tell me what they are.
We'll
most
take
of
him
the
out for a
time.
beer.
But he says he has a lot.
Oh, I'm sure he does. How could he
I
not?
can't wait to find out.
But most of the time, what he does, I'm sure it's whenever he just goes in the other room and it's like, just stop it with that.
My God.
He will go into his office and he'll be like, I've had enough out of her. But he's been in the later years. When we were younger, he told me all of the stuff he didn't like about me. Now he just doesn't.
You know what I want back in the day? I remember the I don't know if there was I'd go in the backyard to my brother's house, and there would be 4 women drinking wine around the fence post.
Yeah.
And it seemed like she would go out in a good mood, and she would come back pissed off.
I
That
know
sounds
why.
like trouble.
I know why.
And I never understood, I guess, that they were just talking about each other's husbands and how bad their life
Yeah, but
was.
that's a great point.
It was,
Yeah,
but it was
that's
rumors are bad. Rumors can ruin relationships very fast.
Or
as well.
comparing your what your husband does to somebody else, because they're not the same people. So if your neighbor's husband does this and that, like they're different people. But yeah, girls can get each other fired up about their husbands. Trust me.
Yeah.
You got to have your girlfriend, boyfriend, spouse, whatever.
Yeah.
You got to have each other's back.
Yeah.
That's
huge.
Okay.
because men want to be respected and know where they
100%.
stand.
So if I am
if there's a friend
Yeah.
that's starting a bunch of crap or has started crap, your girlfriend is going to have to stand up to that, or you guys have
Yeah.
no chance.
Yeah.
Or an in-law, a mom-in-law, or
Yeah.
whatever.
If I am in a relationship with someone, and this went for Jimmy or anyone in the future, I am as loyal as a gang member. I mean, if you don't like that person, I don't like that person.
That means you'd shank them.
Isn't that
Yeah,
seriously,
you bet.
like
for sure.
If they did
Yes.
something horrible to you, then I don't like them either.
So you
Yeah.
gang up.
Yeah.
It's like
Yes.
you guys are like army.
You
ants.
have to have your
Like your Democrat.
your husband's back. You
And
have to have their back and be that support whenever. Yeah.
100%. And literally,
Loyalty
you have
is
to say, okay, my husband or whoever robbed a bank, but you have to then, with pure loyalty, go, what did that bank do to you?
Woo!
What did that bank? So I mean,
I don't know if
that's-
I'd be that loyal.
I am that loyal to my husband
Don't get it on
that
tape.
no matter what he does, somebody must have done it to him first. So yeah.
So I wouldn't go that far because like then if you rob a bank you're a moron. But I would cover for my husband. I would
Yeah,
cover for
yeah,
him. I
yeah.
would lie for him.
Mhm.
If he had done
Mhm.
something stupid and I had the opportunity to like cover and lie for him, I would. That's
for
loyalty
sure,
to me.
For sure. Absolutely. But then at home, I would say, you're a dumbass. You robbed that bank out in public. I'm defending you, but
Here
you're
come
a
the
dumbass.
cops. Get under the bed.
Yeah, hurry up.
Yeah,
So
because
here-
loyalty means that your wife can go off and bitch with her friends about what you do, but you know she's not talking bad about you as a person. She's just venting about things.
Yeah.
If she's loyal to you, she's not going to drag you through the mud and make you look bad as a person.
Right.
You
Yeah.
cannot talk bad or poorly about your husband, wife,
Mhm.
boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse to anybody else.
Correct.
You just can't.
I think you can vent. I think there's a healthy venting, like healthy venting and then bashing someone are two different
Yes,
things.
you're right.
So if I have a girlfriend,
But you have to be careful you say it too, though, because somebody, if it's to that town gossiper, they can take
Yeah.
venting
Mhm.
and doop, turn
Because-
it into
Oh, yeah.
something much more malice.
you have to find the right person then, because I think I give great advice. So I always
Of
have
course you do.
people
You
coming
do.
to me
You do.
wanting to vent, and it's like they're not saying like, oh my god, I hate my husband, how do I push him off a cliff? You know, there's like, hey, like how do I communicate with him that I want this or that, and
Mhm.
somehow I pull
So
an
you've
answer
given
out.
a lot of
You're
good
good.
advice. Give
You
some
sure have.
advice to the guys right now. Because guys, we're not emotional for the most part.
Yeah,
We're not,
that's the number one
we don't
problem.
live in emotion. We're pissed off sometimes because but you guys are just true emotion.
For sure.
Give us some
And then I have a question.
you guys will probably bring the emotion into the race. How do we deal with that? How do we deal with, I don't know if she's going to be in a good mood today or a bad
Ask
mood.
her.
Ask her.
Yeah.
She's not going to tell you that.
Yes, she will.
Here's the
Yeah,
number
they
one problem a guy has. What's wrong, sweetheart? Nothing.
But that's the truth.
When you hear that
No.
nothing, you are in.
How are
you're
you
like,
doing?
"What the hell?"
I'm fine.
I'm fine.
I hate that.
I know.
Sometimes it's
Another fist bump.
yeah.
Get some. Guys will say, man,
So-
you know what? I had a bad day. My boss is a complete idiot, whatever. But a woman, I'm fine. Nothing.
But that's on her. She needs to explain that better, because I would be like, I don't know. Just like the sounds are loud and my I feel fat today and I'm just not having a good day.
I love it.
Like that's
Why
what
don't women do that?
They should. They totally should.
Yeah.
You know, because when Jimmy and I first got married, I would come home and be like, I'm in such a bad mood. I just want to be left alone. And he would follow me around the house like a puppy dog. What's wrong? How do I fix it? What's wrong? And I'm like,
Yeah.
it's not you. It's not anyone. I'm
that's a
just
good point.
crabby today for
Yeah.
no reason. And I just want to be crabby for a few hours. So just leave
Yeah.
me alone.
Find your
Oh.
corner.
You know what I think is important, and I don't know how you feel about this. I think in a marriage type relationship, a guy needs a man cave.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree.
I'm not saying once a man cave. I think it's literally imperative that a
Just separate
guy
bedrooms. It's easy
has
as that.
a man cave. And
I like the separate bedroom.
It's
I
amazing.
don't.
Because
my husband
I
would
don't.
never want that.
No.
He'd
Think
never
about-
want that. He'd
No,
follow
I mean,
me to where I was.
I can see how it would work.
I feel like
Yeah,
I'm
I
Mary
see how
Tyler
it is.
Moore
Well,
show
hang
or
on.
something like that.
Just because you have separate bedrooms doesn't mean you have to sleep separate. Like you could still go and sleep in his bed every night if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it's a night where you just really need your rest,
Yeah.
or you're not feeling well, or he's snoring loud, I think
Yeah.
that
Okay,
separating
all right.
separating your space will take so much like annoyance out of
You know
each
what?
other.
Yeah,
It
I
worked for
see
me
what
for
you're
a while when I worked the
Mhm.
morning show because I would get up at
Yeah,
3
That's
a.m.
the other thing is different schedules.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm a night owl.
It worked for a while.
Yeah, for a while.
And then I
Someone
don't know.
said, go to Guitar Center, Eric. You know
Yeah.
what? You think that's a joke, Aaron, but that's for me, that's what I do.
Yeah.
When I get stressed out and I need to get away,
You go somewhere you like.
And I've seen everything in Guitar Center about a million times. And I still like to just walk around and be around musical instruments.
Yeah.
I think that having separate bedrooms has nothing to do with the sex. And I think that most couples who do have separate bedrooms probably have more sex because they don't have to hear their husband like hawking loogies in the shower and farting and shitting and, you know.
Or if you fall asleep
Or
and you wake
snoring.
up, you can always go to the other room too.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like you're living separate lives. You just have your own space. And then, Vic, did you have a question?
Yeah, I need help with this.
Uh-oh.
Or at least I've been told in the past I was not.
And then
this
I've
way.
got one other topic that
And I got one other thing I
want
gotta
to.
And we're going a little long because
That's okay.
we've
Keep
got
going.
a
Keep it
mass.
rolling.
Okay, here's the thing. I've been told that I have a big heart, but I'm not romantic enough.
So that you have to find out what your girl's definition of romance is. Because for me, a candlelight dinner and flowers, gross. Like there's nothing romantic to me about that.
Oh my God.
I think this is a legitimate question for
because
guys.
every female is different.
Take me on a walk in the fall to a bonfire.
Yeah.
Like that's romance to me. Like every girl is different. You can't just go by the book and the movies and be like, here's flowers and a dinner. That's not my thing. And so if I had somebody who wasn't being romantic, I would have to say like, here's what I love. Here's what I like when you do. And here's, romance is not dinner and flowers for me. So find out what she would consider romantic.
Once again, everything gets back to communication.
Yeah.
Find out what her favorite
a
movies are.
woman is a complicated machine.
Yes.
For sure.
And
100%.
I've always let you're a scientist, get the manual out and just ask a bunch of questions.
Yep.
Write it down and know it, and then work that manual.
You know what you should do? You should next time you're with whoever you're with, you should have Bing right there.
Yeah.
And AI, Chat GPT. Say, we're having a problem, Bing.
No.
How do we fix this? And see what AI says.
You know what's romantic to me?
Don't bring a third party in.
It's not a third party. It's a robot. Guys are like that. Why do you think the rise of and this is a true story, the rise of guys buying robot companions? Because they want a companion, but they don't want the complexities that he just brought up of trying to deal with that companian.
No, I want to know.
I want to go to a Tesla factory and just pick one out.
Do you have one? I could see you buying one.
I totally would.
But could a woman want a robot companion as well?
No. They have them.
No.
But a man in Japan is a big deal.
Eric, they have them.
I'm not done with Vic's question because you have to find out from her what she considers romantic. So
yes, there you go.
need to find out what's your favorite like romantic comedy movie and then watch that. What are the characters that she likes? Like you could be romantic. I mean, it would be so hot if a guy
he
was
has
like,
to watch a rom-com.
Yeah. Or you could be like, hey, I heard this song on the radio today and it reminded me of you and send her that.
Oh.
That is so romantic.
Yeah,
I've done those things in my life.
That's nice.
That's a good one.
That's nice.
That's a good one.
If a guy tells you like a song reminds you of him, that's
Okay. I want to be told if I'm effing up things. And we're all different.
Yeah.
If I'm be direct.
Yeah.
I'm direct with people. Be direct with me.
I'm so direct.
Yeah, okay.
Gotta once again, communication. 97% of the world's problems start with miscommunication, and over 90% of relationships end because of lack of communication or miscommunication. You got to communicate. You got to talk. You can't be afraid.
Yeah, no, and that's why Jimmy and I are having such an amicable split because he and I communicate like bosses. Like we are so good at communication.
And why my ex-wife and I, 7-8 years after the fact, still can't get along because we have no communication.
That's awful. I hate that.
I know.
What if one person likes to talk a lot and the other person doesn't like to communicate at all?
That's where separate bedrooms come in. You can say, I need a break. I need to go in my room for an hour.
There are those people out there where it's like, I just want to let you know what I'm feeling, blah, 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 blah. And the other one's like,
oh, yeah.
That sucks to be
so a lot of those are like trauma dumpers. So people are trauma dumpers. They love to dump their trauma on me. So I'm a trauma dumper. People think they can tell me anything. So think about it like this. If she has been working in the house all day and she's dealing with school stuff and she's dealing with somebody who's bullying your son and she's dealing with all of this, and then you come home from work and you're like, listen to what this bitch Linda did in HR today. And like you're giving her, like you're giving her all of your, you're giving her all of your work trauma. Like, she doesn't care.
Yeah.
She doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like go bitch about your work stress to someone else, because at the end of the day, the last thing she wants is more stress on her.
Yeah, no, she doesn't. You're right.
And the other thing that is super
Well, who's
sexy.
the guy supposed to talk to about it?
Well,
Who wants to?
you can just wait until the girl isn't
That's
already in her
time and
panic
place.
mode.
Oh, okay.
Because you can still tell the girl that.
Especially if she's your best friend. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
You trauma dump on your best friend because your best friend is your best friend, but if
So-
your best friend is also your spouse, girlfriend.
Jimmy and I have always done a thing where because he knows I don't want to hear about all his work stuff, but if it's something big, it's something bothering him, I want to know. So he'll say, "Hey, are you like in the space to talk about something right now?" And I'll be like, "Nope." And he'll be like, "Okay," and then tell him about Linda and HR later, but don't just come in the door dumping trauma on her.
But the guy, because as soon as you just said that, it's like, hey, I've got, because a guy has feelings.
I think
Thank you,
like,
Eric.
can I just talk to you about this for a second? And you're like, nope. And I'd be like, oh,
You're
what a
blurring-
bitch. What a bitch.
But there's
I mean, you
a
know what I
line.
mean?
There's a line between him having like something he wants to talk about and
Okay.
him just bitching about little things. There's a line. No, she absolutely should sit down and listen to you if you had a horrible day and you want to talk about something. But if you're just bitching for the sake of bitching about the copy machine being out of paper all the time and like we don't hear women make so many decisions. That's the other thing that's super sexy is when men can make their own decisions.
Yeah, I agree. I've learned that the hard way.
Because at the end of the day, I've made so many decisions that if I go to the grocery store and the lady's like, "Do you want your milk in or out of a bag?" I'm like, I don't fucking know. Just pick one. Like I cannot make any more decisions.
And
today.
that is true. My husband will be there and I'll be like, I don't know. And he'll be like, we don't want the bag or we want the bag. And I don't know why I find that sexy, but if I can't figure out what I'm thinking for that moment because my brain is spaghetti and he's just boom, that's what
Is it better to make a decision
love
without
that.
asking and the woman is very like, oh, I don't like this place.
Ooh, you mean like to dinner or something?
Yeah, dinner.
Oh,
dinner.
Then she needs to get over
Movie.
Yeah.
Like if she didn't like the place.
I made the decision.
We have to like your movies and stuff too.
And now I'm going to live with it and suffer the consequences.
Yeah.
I mean, just
it's always about consequences. So Aaron, who I don't think he likes me very much, I can never tell, but whatever. He does say this. He goes, a man to most guys pop a top, and then he goes and he hits the couch. And I think what he's saying is that when you see a guy on the couch, that's when they're depressed. They just want to sit and like if you're not giving them what they need, they're just going to hit the couch and they're going to be uninvested in the relationship. And over the course of years, they're like, I've got Fox News on or CNN. I've got ESPN. I got my beer.
great point.
Okay, so
I know lots of couples who they don't have sex.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's a huge thing. There are a lot of couples that don't have sex, but this goes back to like if he wants to be a lazy slob on the couch, he deserves that because he worked all day. But it's hard for her when she's actively like cleaning and doing stuff, and he's just laying on the couch doing nothing.
Yeah.
If he had his own room, he could go do that and shut the door, and she wouldn't be angry every time she walks by him because she's doing stuff and he's not. You're right. He totally deserves to like lay down and watch TV.
Yeah.
But it's like out of sight, out of mind, and then he comes out an hour later and he's like, "Hey, let's."
I don't think any human male who was a kid riding bikes, having fun, jumping things, going and doing whatever, graduates from that point to being in a relationship to a couch watching TV 24 hours a day when they're not working. I think that there needs to be to me, it's a team. To me,
it needs to be a team. And with
the
the team, there's going to be ebbs and flows. And I've noticed this, and maybe it's not true. Maybe it is. It has been for me. Sometimes it seems almost as if one side is pushing more than the other.
Mm-hmm.
And then another time, the other side who wasn't pushing as more is now pushing more, but then the person who was pushing isn't pushing as much.
Communication. You got to get on the same page. You got to be willing to say, I'm not in the mind space to talk about this today. Like, I'm just not. Let's talk about it tomorrow. But what you said, Vic, because I know a lot of moms and we talk, there are lots of couples who do not have sex, who have been married for God knows how many years.
And how are those relationships?
I mean, I don't know.
The ones I've known have not worked.
No, they don't work.
And they shouldn't work.
Cheating happens, swinging happens, or divorce happens.
They just leave. So when is it? It's over. You have a fantastic story, but when we've talked a lot about all this stuff, when is it when you cannot put the square peg
real
through
quick,
the round hole?
Joe, how long do we have before the next show pops up in our studio? How long until we get off?
I think we're supposed to start something at 10:30.
How much more time do we have? Because this is a great
It's
question.
10:07 right now.
We got time.
You tell me. Do we have like 2 minutes?
Yeah, I should be okay. I should be able to get
All right,
everything
this will be our
done
final question.
in 15.
You're professional.
I am.
Slightly
It's in my
Rights.
name.
Slightly Rights coming up next with Wesley Smith. by the way.
I can't wait for that. By the way, but here, wrap it up here. When's it time to say that we tried? We couldn't get the square peg through the round hole, and there's
When you both want it, when you both want out, when you both want the same thing.
Because they looked at each other and said it.
It said like high five, let's do this shit.
Okay.
But I'm going to say something really unpopular. It's probably a bigger discussion, but whatever. I'm speaking for a lot of women.
Okay.
If you are in a marriage where you have multiple kids and you're in that time in your life where things are crazy, you have to schedule sex. You have to. You have to. Now, when you're early in your relationship, no, you don't have to. When you're empty nesters, no, you don't have to. When you're on vacation, no, you don't have to. But she wants to know. I think it's fun. I think it builds up the anticipation, and then you're sending like flirty texts all day, and then she can, because the thing is we want to be clean, we want to be showered, we want to be. So if you guys like communicate and look at your week and go, hey, on Tuesday and Friday, I'm going to send you an Outlook invite and we're going to do it those nights. Yeah. And then she knows that the rest of her week, if you come and hug her and hold her, that you're not going to try and do her on the kitchen floor. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
People say
during the year with all the kids are at home.
Yeah, people say that scheduling sex is not sexy, and I think they're wrong.
Yeah.
I think it totally is, because then it gives you time to get in that headspace and be sexy and get out lingerie or whatever you're going to do, rather than, no, why? I'm so tired.
I think Google should invent a calendar. It's like Goog Sex.
Yeah.
It's just for getting together with your significant other.
Yeah.
Or something like a little text is like, do you want to have sex? Check yes or no.
Yeah.
That's a country song.
That one blew my mind a little bit. That one blew my mind.
The two hills that I will die on is separate bedrooms and schedule sex.
Hey, before we get out of here, because it is our anniversary show, Alex sent me some of our numbers, and we are grateful for this. During the first year, total video views, 2 million. So we've got like 10 more million to catch up with. Kelly.
Yeah.
We
got a long way to go to catch up to Kelly.
Audience reach in this year, 4.3 million, which has been fantastic. Subscribers, 9,400. Engagements, 104,000. Viewer return rate, which is what we're most proud of, 78%.
Yeah, that's a high margin.
Yeah, so once you hear us...
that's why you got to share it with a friend who hasn't seen it, because once they see it, it's not a normal
subscribe, share the show, please. 260 episodes. 98,600 watch hours, 12 different platforms we're on, which has been fantastic. And our monthly subscribers growth, 14.4%. We've had, let's see here, description, website visitors, over 50,000. So thank you guys.
When is your party? When is your 1 year party?
I'm
trying to leave the house once in a while.
Yes.
Good. Please come.
It's my new thing.
Next Thursday, 7 p.m., Wenty's.
Is it the 7th?
Yes, the 7th at 7 p.m. Wenty's in the Chesterfield Valley. We've been asking people to let us know, to give us a head count. I think we have a link up somewhere for the party, and Alex put that together. But next Thursday, we'd love people just to come out, say hi, take a picture.
Okay.
Are you seriously going to come by?
I don't know.
You'll be a draw.
I don't know. I'm going to put it in the calendar.
Just say she is, and people will show.
Kelly Manna will be there.
I'm going to put it in the calendar, and I'm going to try to come.
And Vic's got some bougie boys that he hangs with.
Yeah, bougie boy.
No,
I don't need any bougie. I need a man with a dad bod and a beard and a truck. And
I told you.
You said it.
He's my bass tech. You'll love him.
Oh, that's awesome.
His name's Blowjob.
Oh God. So I think I'll say there's a 90% chance I'm going to go to Wenty's.
Okay, so then we're saying she's coming. 90 is
good.
high.
Yeah.
Yes, Eric.
I'm at 70.
Well, okay. I was going to say, what's your percentage, Eric?
Yeah, it's my new thing. I'm making myself leave the house twice a month voluntarily. So that can be one of my things.
Kelly, you're awesome. Thank you for coming in today. What a fun, great, energetic segment that hopefully helps a lot of people as well.
Yeah.
All right. And thank you, everybody, for a year of shows.
It's been a great year.
We look forward to more coming up here. Wesley Smith is coming up right next, or he'll be here in about 15 minutes, slightly right.
Yep.
So for Wesley, who jumped on the show with us for a little bit, Pro Joe, Kelly Manno, Eric Johnson, Lizzie Sparks, Vic Faust, thank you so much, guys, for joining us. Have an awesome Friday. Welcome to December. We'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great day.
All right.